This is True Capitalist Radio.
True Capitalist Radio.
I am your host, the man they call Ghost.
The badass of business.
Give him capitalism or give him death.
That's it. Period.
Broadcasting from his Skyline office studios in beautiful downtown Austin, Texas.
You sound fruitier than a box of Fruit Loops, for Christ's sake.
And now, he'll take it from here. Your host, the prognosticator of prognosticators, the man they call
Ghost.
Going on, man? How's it going, folks? And thank you for tuning in with me to another edition of the True Capitalist Radio broadcast. And, of course, I am your host, the man they call Ghost. And once again, folks, I want to thank everybody for tuning in with me. This is episode number 456. Episode number 456 for all the folks that are keeping track of the True Capitalist Radio broadcast. And before we get into anything else, I'd like for everybody to please spread it around like wildfire and let everybody know that True Capitalist Radio is in effect and in the house, and we are live every Monday through Friday, 4 p.m. Central Standard Time, right here on the official website of the True Capitalist Radio broadcast, and it is blogtalkradio.com/ghost. That's blogtalkradio.com/ghost. And, of course, if you have not done so, please follow me on Twitter. The Twitter name to follow is Politics Ghost, all one word, no underscores. Politics Ghost is the name to follow. Anyway, folks, it is a Taco Tuesday. And to be honest with you, folks, I could use a little bit of a break from the show. I'm getting a little worn down, to say the least. I mean, I got a lot of things going, but I cannot stop because I'm telling you, every day that goes by, the wolves, or I should say wolves, plural, in sheep's clothing, are starting to show themselves, including on the right wing of our perspective, folks. And it's been very, very disheartening, to say the least. But we're going to talk about all that in a little bit. Right now, what we're going to do is we're going to get right into the markets, folks, because yesterday the markets were closed due to President's Day. Today, they've opened up on a Taco Tuesday on the plus side, which I don't get it, all right? I don't get it. I don't know what's going on. But once again, it's only a matter of time before this overinflated stock market. And let me tell you, there's a variety of different reasons that I have insisted why this stock market is overinflated, because of the fact that there is no projected earnings that is justifying these inflated index composites. That there is no even any kind of forecast of any kind of future earnings that could justify these type of overinflated prices in the stock market. So as I alluded to, folks, it's not a matter of if, it's when. Now, as I stated, when you have a low-volume market, like the general market is low volume, it can go positive or negative. I mean, that's why we're seeing so much on the positive side, because in my personal opinion, I think that we're having people prop up this market. I think it's more than obvious. I'm glad that the folks at Zero Hedge are starting to look back into the orders that are being taken place, especially on the Dow Jones Industrial, and start realizing that there is definitely, at least on paper, a suspectable element of collusion going on with the folks on Wall Street and trying to prop this damn Wall Street stock market up. Because there is no more independent investor in the stock market, folks. And look, I have been trying, and I hope that you've been trying as an independent capitalist to tweet at or Facebook or mail or email the Trump administration to have him lift the PDT rule so that independent investors can have the freedom to trade how they want to trade. And I think that, in my personal opinion, folks, is the reason why we are seeing such weird activity on the stock market. Now, why is today's increase weird? Because, folks, we're seeing an increase in the dollar value today. And what have I always said? Increase in the dollar value is supposed to mean there's supposed to be a decrease in the equities. But we're not seeing that here, which shows, once again, a helter-skelter perspective within the investment community. And that's why I'm saying, in my personal opinion, I don't like this market one bit. I hate to sound like a bear investor, because everybody out here is probably like, come on, Ghoster, it's the bull market, dude, and you're missing out, dude. I'm not missing out on nothing, all right? I am seeing the calm before the storm, and as I've always said, what goes up must come down, and when it falls, baby, big man fall hard. So the higher and higher this damn stock market goes, the worse the contraction that is going to, at some point, come about is going to be that much harder to accept. Now, let me go ahead and get to the markets here so we can get to the crux of some of the political commentary that we're going to talk about. And there's a lot of things to discuss. All right, a lot of things to discuss. So let's go ahead and get to the stocks, shall we? Now, let's get to the Dow Jones Industrials. All right, once again, overinflated market, over speculation, no justification for these high prices. But hey, who's really trading in this market besides hedge fund managers, mutual fund managers, Wall Street guys? They're the ones that are propping up this market for whatever reason. And I think that we've talked about those reasons in previous broadcasts. There's no reason to rehash them. But all I have to say is stimulus package 2 bill. All right, the biggest transfer of wealth in American history that was given to all the people that donated to the campaign contribution accounts of Barack Obama and the Democrats. This is why you've got Wall Street propping up this goddamn market, for Christ's sake. That's why you had the mainstream media talking against Donald Trump. That's why each and every entity that is against the administration right now, you could trace back to stimulus package 2. $1 trillion giveaway of the taxpayer money that was okayed and signed into law by the Obama administration and the Democrats. I'm just saying, folks, this is why we have all these entities that are against Donald Trump. You can trace back their loyalty to that biggest cash giveaway in American history, folks. I'm telling you this right now. I want somebody to just highlight this because the evidence is right there. Anyway, let's get to the Dow Jones Industrials, folks. I can't believe this. Up 118.95 points. Up 118.95 points, a percentage increase of 0.58%, closing out the Dow at 20,743 points for the Dow Jones Industrial. I mean, good God, 21,000 Dow? We're approaching 21,000 Dow Jones Industrial. I mean, good God, it's just stupid. I'm sorry. Look, let me just put it like this. I know there's a lot of people that are in or that are listening to this broadcast that want to go into the market. I'm just trying to be responsible so that folks that are really, really anxious, really want to get into the market right now, you need to wait. Patience is key. And whenever that contraction happens, that's when you go in. Right now, cash is king, man. Sit on cash, accumulate cash, sit on cash. All right? So as I stated, folks, this is what we need to, as capitalists, we need to be waiting for. Unless you're value investing, folks, and look, right now, I wouldn't even be value investing at these prices. And for you folks that are unaware, value investing is when you're not necessarily in with all the market hoopla and the rhetoric and the jargon, and all you're doing is picking out a blue chip stock or a high yield dividend stock, and all your monthly income that you would traditionally save, Instead of putting it in a bank account, you buy this blue chip stock on a monthly basis and accumulate it. Now, what's the strategy behind accumulating a blue chip stock and a value investing strategy? Well, the strategy is so that you can create net worth with yourself, folks. And when you have net worth, meaning that what you own something, you have value because you have a portfolio of a blue chip stock, which looks great on credit applications, great on loan applications. All right? So anyway, folks, that's really the key issue if you're going to be value investing. Now, I have not been making any kind of stocks to watch tweets in the mornings because, folks, there is no volume in the morning. There is no volume in the pre-market. I mean, if you take a look at the big board in the pre-market of all the stocks that have high percentage increases in the pre-market, a lot of this is based on crap volume, like 1,000 shares, 500 shares. Even one share in certain instances, one share traded provides a 9% increase on a given stock in the pre-market. It's pump and dump. And you don't want to be one of these novice investors. Well, I shouldn't say novice. I should say immature, investors that, sees a high percentage increase and just goes into a stock without knowing what the hell you're doing. I mean, there is nothing but pump and dumps, in my personal opinion, in the pre-market. Nothing but pump and dumps. So that's why I don't suggest any stock to watch as far as a day trading or pattern trading play in the morning. I mean, I'm still looking for them, baby. Don't get me wrong. But it's better not to play the market. Not to play the market and save your money than play a market that is very precarious and lose money. And look, we win some, we lose some, but the key about being a good capitalist is to lose, and when you lose, you learn something. Whenever you lose money, especially when you're trying to increase your capital, your net worth, and becoming a better capitalist, a more net worth-based capitalist, you're going to lose, okay? But the key is not to lose big and not to lose often. And when you do lose, you want to be able to use that loss as a learning experience, an experience that won't be accorded to you if you would have put yourself in debt about $60,000 in some college goddamn debt account, some kind of college loan of some capacity. And that's the key issue. You don't just accept losses and forget about them. Don't ever forget about losses. Remember them. Self-analyze yourself on why exactly you got them and make sure that you never do the same mistake twice. Because if you do the same mistake twice, then you're an idiot. And you need to maybe stop yourself from any potential future progression so that you can see why exactly you made the same goddamn mistake twice without learning from it from the first time. And this is very key to success, folks, because look, you're going to win some, you're going to lose some. But you got to take something from both sides. If you lose, you want to know why you lost. You want to know how you lost. You want to know if you got too anxious, if you got too greedy. You want to know if you miscalculated a market. These are the kinds of things that you got to analyze and learn from. And instead of thinking of it as a loss, think of it as a learning experience, just like these college kids that are putting themselves in college debt to try to gain knowledge. You're not only gaining knowledge in a loss, you're gaining knowledge and experience. So always remember that, folks. I mean, don't just accept losses. Don't just forget about them. Always remember them. Always. So with that being said, let's go to the S&P 500, all right? S&P 500, and look, we're at record highs here, folks, all right? I mean, we're at all-time record highs across the board on every index. This is not the time to buy. Remember the classic motto, buy low, sell high. This is not conducive for that type of philosophy. S&P 500 today is up 14.22 points, a percentage increase of 0.60%. closing out the S&P at 2,365.38 points for the S&P 500. We've got the NASDAQ. The NASDAQ is also up today, 27.37 points, a percentage increase of 0.47%, closing out the NASDAQ at 5,865.95 points for the NASDAQ composite. Once again, folks, I have no idea why these stocks are increasing today. We saw another increase in the dollar value. I mean, it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't even make any sense when you have a dollar rising, and traditional financing would have you believe, or it should be at least traditional finance used to be, when you saw an increase in the dollar, you see a decrease in commodities. I mean, I don't know what to say about all this, to be honest with you. It's a helter-skelter market. The investment community is smoking crack, for a lack of a better term, and I'm not a buyer. I'm not a buyer in any of this crap. All right? I'm sitting on cash, baby. I'm accumulating cash and sitting on cash, and I advise everybody to do the same. And if you're not doing that, at least start accumulating some metals. Because I'm telling you, in times of uncertainty, everybody's going to go to metals. When the market contracts in the equities market, everybody's going to go to metals. It's the traditional safe haven for everybody that doesn't know what the hell's going on in a given market. So anyway, let's get to the commodities. All right, let's go to energy. Now, once again, I'm not touching energy with a 10-foot pole here. Too many oil producers at this time. I read a report that Russia is now the world's largest oil producer, just surpassing Saudi Arabia. And you take that into consideration on top of the fact that you've got the United States wanting to open up its oil production capabilities. And, I just don't see oil being any kind of an impactful commodity here in the next few years. So in my personal opinion, if you're going to make a play on anything energy-related, I would strongly advise you, if you're going to entertain an investment at all, entertain it in a day trading capacity on an ETF, ETN play. Because other than that, I am not a buyer in the energy market. It's just, I think we're just going to see the beginning of the decrease end of, or the beginning of the end of like high oil prices. So anyway, let's get to WTI sweet crude. WTI is up today 66 cents, a percentage increase of 1.24%, closing out WTI at $54.06 per barrel of WTI sweet crude. We've got Brent crude also up today, 46 cents, a percentage increase of 0.82%, closing out Brent crude at $56.64 per barrel of Brent crude oil. All right, let's go ahead and get to gasoline. Gasoline is down, folks, 1.54%. And the feast or famine commodity, natural gas. I mean, let me tell you something. This was a dramatic decrease for natural gas today. What did I always tell you about this commodity? Feast or famine. Natural gas down today 9%. 9% decrease on the day. Good God! I would have hated holding anything natural gas today. That's horrible. Anyway, heating oil modestly up today, 0.28% increase on the day for heating oil. Let's get to precious metals, shall we? The metals! Let's get to the goddamn metals! Gold slipping today slightly, folks. It is down today $2.40, a percentage decrease of 0.19%, closing out gold at $1,236.70 per troy ounce of gold. We've got silver also down today, modestly, but still down, 8 cents, a percentage decrease of 0.44%, closing out silver at $17.95 per troy ounce of silver. Copper saw a modest increase today. I shouldn't even say modest. It was a decent increase. It was up today, 1.29% increase for copper. Platinum down 0.02% for platinum. Let's go ahead and get to agriculture, shall we? Now, once again, since we saw an increase in the dollar, we should see a lot of red across the board in most of these agriculture commodities. The only ones that we may see on the plus side that have genuine scarcity. So let's go ahead and run down the grains and see what's on the green and what's in the red. I'm seeing nothing but red here, a few green spots. Let's go ahead and take a look at them. Corn up today, 0.27% increase on the day for corn. Wheat contracted today. It was down 1.26% decrease on the day for wheat. Oats was also down today, 0.20% decrease on the day. Rough rice up 1.02% increase on the day for rough rice. 1.02% increase for rough rice. Soybean down today, 0.58% decrease on the day. Soybean oil down 0.63% decrease on the day. And canola down 0.46% decrease on the day. All right, let's go ahead and get to soft, shall we? All right, now for the softs, we should see the same kind of pattern that we saw in the agriculture. We should see decreases in the majority of commodities, but if we don't, it's because there's genuine scarcity in these commodities. So it'll be reflected if you see any kind of increase. Remember, the dollar rose today. The dollar rose. So with that being said, let's go to the softs. Cocoa down 0.20%. Coffee,
hey, dude, just don't talk to me. Don't talk to me unless I have my coffee, dude. Just don't talk to me.
shut up, you freaking anal camel toe sporting fruit! Anyway, we got coffee up today, and let me tell you, it has been going up and up as of late. Have you noticed that, folks? Coffee is up 1.54% increase on the day for coffee, man. I mean, good God. I mean, no decreases in Star Cucks anytime soon. And I'd like to also take this time to remind everybody, boycott Star Cucks! Boycott that cuckold connoisseur of a company, Star Cucks! Boycott Star Cucks! And the reason is, folks, is because they're spitting on the American consumer's face. They're spitting on our troops by suggesting right after Trump signs his executive order on immigration reform, they slap the American consumer in the face, publicly stating that they are going to hire 10,000 illegal immigrants to defy the rule of law that has been signed by the President of the United States of America. Boycott Star Cucks. Anyway, let's go ahead and get to the next commodity, sugar! Sugar is up today, folks, 2.37% increase on the day for sugar. Orange juice down today, 0.45% decrease on the day for orange juice. We've got cotton up today, 0.19% increase on the day. We've got lumber up very, very modestly, is up 0.03% increase on the day. Rubber is down 1.74% decrease on the day for rubber, and ethanol is down today 0.58% decrease on the day for ethanol. Let's get to the livestock. Now, even though that we have seen increases in the U.S. dollar, livestock is seeing some modest increases here. Let's go ahead and get to live cattle. Live cattle is up today, 0.33% increase on the day for live cattle. Cattle feeder is up, ironically, even though we saw a lot of the components that make up cattle feeder in grains on the decrease side. Cattle feeder is up 0.38%. And lean hog saw a little bit of a contraction today, folks. It is down 0.60% decrease on the day. And let's go ahead and get to Bitcoin, because what I've been telling you about Bitcoin, the more and more of these countries that try to get rid of actual physical currency, this cryptocurrency is going to start becoming more and more prevalent, folks. And I'm telling you, the EU's announced that it's going to start trying to phase out cash. I heard recently that Russia is going to start doing something with its hard currency. I mean, you've got all these companies, all these countries, excuse me. You've got all these countries trying to phase out cash. We cannot allow that to happen here in America, folks, because if we phase out cash, the people that are hurt the most, are those that are impoverished in America today. The poor lady, and I see a lot of them out here in San Antonio that are out there trying to sell tamales out of a goddamn ice chest. You know, that hurts them. That hurts that barefoot Mexican kid that I was approached when I first got to San Antonio. I was at a red light. I got approached by a freaking barefoot Mexican kid with a box full of candy apples. All right, that affects that kid. You know, I mean, I'm telling you, it affects the most impoverished sectors of society if we ban cash, and we cannot allow that to happen here in this United States of America. We cannot allow that to happen in this United States of America. But with that being said, Bitcoin is starting to look a little bit attractive as an investment. All right? So let's go ahead and get to the Bitcoin price. Bitcoin is up today. Have you seen the Bitcoin price, folks? $1,119.99 per Bitcoin. Let me repeat that one more again. $1,119.99 per Bitcoin. And that, my friends, is the markets for your ass, all right? As I stated, folks, I'm just trying to be responsible and let everybody know that this is not a buyer's market. I think everybody should take a little bit of a step back and realize that this is over speculation, and don't believe the hype. All right, seriously, do not believe the hype. It's a trap. Anyway, folks, since we've already got done with the markets pretty quick here, I want to go right into talking about a variety of different subject matters. Man, there's so much things to talk about. I try to put it all together. It's just not enough time. Not even at 3 hours is it enough time. But one thing I do want to talk about, folks, is the Trump administration revamping its stances on immigration so that it can curtail some of the arguments, I believe, that were made in these court systems against the immigration reform sign and executive order. Now, DHS has already put out outlines that they're going to step up the immigration policy of catching illegals that are criminals, that are threat of doing criminal activity, or just anyone who is a bad hombre, for a lack of a better term, all right? For a lack of a better term, bad hombres, we got to round them up out here. Now, DHS wanted to reiterate that they're not going to be rounding up 11 million undocumented immigrants. They're not going to bust them out. You know, they're trying to calm the public that is out here, that is, that think that there's going to be a mass roundup to any capacity. That's not going to happen, all right? That's not going to happen. Now, part of the Homeland Security's expansion into the immigration reform policy and the new guidelines, one of them is they're going to hire 10,000 new immigration and custom enforcement officers and 5,000 new Border Patrol agents. So for you folks that are looking for a job out here, there's 15,000 jobs that just became available thanks to the Department of Homeland Security. 10,000 of them in immigration and customs enforcement, 5,000 in Border Patrol agents. All right? No more are we going to have any catch and release crap. All right? All right, no more of this crap. The provisions that have been put out here mandate that the government detain immigrants until they are granted a hearing before an immigration judge, ending Obama's administration policy of releasing some to live with relatives until their hearings. And, of course, backlogs at immigration courts have delayed those hearings for more than a year plus, which leaves these undocumented illegal immigrants walking around out here. I'm walking around out here. Jesus Christ. And not to mention, folks, I think that the administration is going to take a step back on those dreamer kids. You know, the kids that were kind of born here, you know, the whole, parents came in, smuggled themselves into this country illegally, have a kid here, and it seems as if the kid may be able to stay here and the parents may go back. So, I mean, it's a very, very disgusting web of legalese, and it's unfortunate that we have to do all this stuff, but hey, look, it's, for whatever reason, American citizens believe that illegal immigrants have more rights in this country than actual citizens that fought and died for this country, or that actually helped build this country, or that worked for this country. I can't believe this. I cannot believe this, for heaven's sake. But either way, folks, this is a positive sign that even though there's a lot of legalese opposition as it pertains to the immigration reform of Donald Trump, that Mr. Trump, or President Trump, I should say, is going to continue to pursue a campaign promise regardless of whatever it takes. Whatever it takes. So this includes, of course, cutting funding to sanctuary cities, enforcing immigration laws on businesses that hire illegal immigrants. This includes going straight after criminals that are and have been known to be criminal-esque, for a lack of a better term, by local law enforcement. I mean, these are the kinds of things that we have to do to start making a little bit of a dent in some of these areas of immigration. And not to mention, we have to also get some of these people out of here that have alleged terrorist ties. We don't need terrorists in our country. So, with that being said, I think this is a very, very good point as it relates to the progress of the immigration reform. I think at this point in time, we should applaud the president and the DHS on trying to curb the legalese that's preventing the full implementation of this immigration executive order. And in my personal opinion, I think that this is a very, very positive sign. A very, very positive sign. And, you know, I know there's a lot of people out here that are saying, hey, I want all of them out here, all the illegals out. Unfortunately, you know, we live in a society, man, where we have liberal lunatics that are willing to go out here and protest and file lawsuits and try to have the judicial system legislate from the bench. And unfortunately, we have to do these types of legalese hula hoops just so that we can actually implement some level of goddamn immigration reform. I mean, why don't you confront the liberal lunatics on this issue? I mean, these are the liberal lunatics that are not just holding compassion to, you know, the Mexicans that are coming across the border to, you know, work below minimum wage, but they actually want wild Yehudis in battle-hardened areas of the Middle East to come here and live with us. I mean, they're inviting the terrorists. Liberal lunatics that are protesting, they're begging the terrorists to come over here in America. I cannot believe it, how far we've come. What kind of rabbit hole have we gone down? I know I say this over and over and over again, but what happened to win? What happened to when 9/11, 2001 happened to America? And we declared a war on Islamic terrorism. Now we're asking those same Islamic terrorists that we declared war on after September 11, 2001, we're asking them to come live here. We're asking them to come live here. Unbelievable. Unfreaking believable. Anyway, folks, this dreamer issue is not dead. The Trump administration is going to continue to pursue this dreamer issue, which is pretty much halting a lot of the full implementation of the immigration reform. They're going to take it to the Supreme Court. And it's up to the Supreme Court at this point in time on whether or not these dreamer kids are actually U.S. citizens. And this is a very, very precarious case here, man. But either way, we got to start doing something about the immigration issue, because I'm not joking. And for all you liberals that want to sit here and pow-pow about it, you can pow-pow about it all you want. If the immigrants were to go away, if we make the economic climate in this country so uncomfortable that they voluntarily go back, or if we gather these criminals around and send them back, however they go back, you're going to see the amount of employment and the opportunities for employment for unskilled labor go up, and the pay for that unskilled labor go up. And that's the real motivation for illegal immigrants. And that's what these dumbass liberals that are out here protesting, that are out here making asses out of themselves. In about 20 years, they're going to look at these video clips and photos of themselves, and hopefully they have some level of shame. And if they don't, then hopefully social Darwinism, all right, can take play and kind of rid the freaking world of these lunatics. But in the end, folks, I mean, what these liberals don't understand is that the reason everybody up top, and I'm talking about the big corporations, all right, I'm talking about these big corporate employers. They want illegal immigrants because they lower, by default, the illegal immigrants, once they come into a given market, they lower the cost of labor, you idiots. They lower the cost of labor. And you can't say that you're for immigrants coming into the country and then claim in another day and another protest that you want $15 an hour to bag groceries. Do you understand me? It doesn't make any sense, you stupid liberal lunatics. It's stupid. I'm telling you, this is lunacy. And I've actually seen some of these liberals on some of these videos in an interview being confronted with this contradiction. That, okay, you want illegal immigrants coming into the country, but do you want a better living wage? Don't you want like 10 or 15 bucks an hour? And of course, these libtards, these liberals are like, yeah, we should have $15 an hour minimum wage. Yeah, that's exactly what we should be doing. But we can't do that because illegal immigrants, by default, lower the cost of wages. They lower the cost of wages by default.
Well, they work very hard, and they do the jobs we don't want to do.
I mean, it's all these ridiculous talking points, folks. That's why as much as I want to take a break from this show, and it's literally wearing a lot of energy out of my soul doing this show, I have to keep doing it because these ideas need to continue to be expounded, amplified, so that those that have any kind of common sense can absorb them and say, you know what, Ghost has got a point here, okay? Let's say there is some kind of a humanitarian issue as it pertains to the immigration issue. But I mean, a whole bunch of immigrants coming into the country is going to lower the cost of labor. So for all you idiots that are out here talking about fight for $15 an hour, $10 an hour minimum wage, whatever, that ain't never going to happen with illegal immigrants in this country, undocumented, illegal, aliens, whatever you want to call them. They're going to lower the cost of labor. And that's why you have so many people out of work, impoverished Americans. And when I talk about impoverished Americans, I'm talking about impoverished black Americans, impoverished white Americans, impoverished Latin Americans, okay? I'm talking about Latinos. These are people that are 3-4 generations in, 2-3-4 generations in, probably have plethora of family that have served the military, that have fought wars. These people are being neglected because our past administration, the Obama administration, insisted that illegal immigrants superseded the value of actual citizens of this United States of America. All right, so that's all there is to it. All right? That's all there is to it. Now, with that being said, folks, I want to just make a personal comment about this immigration issue. I think that all this much to do about nothing, about protesting immigrants and, oh, we need to have open borders and that sort of thing, the right wing needs to pose the argument to the left and those that are proponents of open borders why no one is practicing this policy besides the lunatic United States of America. How come Mexico won't allow you to, first of all, smuggle yourself in there, okay? And people will say, well, you can go right through the border if you want. You can just go right in there. Yeah, you want to know why we can go in there? Because we are going in there purchasing products. We're going in there spending money. We've got perverts going in there watching the donkey show. I mean, do you understand? They're trying to accumulate American dollars within the borders of Mexico so they can keep it in their economy. That's why they're letting Americans into their country. But go out there and try to throw a ruckus in Mexico. I'd like to see a bunch of these liberals go out there to Mexico and protest that country's immigration policies. I mean, Mexico has tougher immigration laws than America. And these assholes have the audacity to sit here and talk trash about us. The hypocrisy, man! The hypocrisy! So that's why I'm saying, folks, in my personal opinion, we need to start waking up to the true issues of what immigration is, and it's a logical fallacy. It's a logical fallacy that anywhere else in the world, that the immigrants that are conducting themselves a fool in this country, along with the liberal agitators fueling the fire, you wouldn't be able to do this anywhere else in the world. No immigrants, aliens, illegal citizens could sneak themselves into any country and begin to throw a ruckus and demand that they are citizens of a nation that they snuck into. Nowhere in the world can you find that. And you see, we have immigrants in here that are taking advantage of not just the freedoms that are accorded to American citizens under the Constitution, but folks, these immigrants in many of these sanctuary states like California, they are actually giving them entitlements. They're actually giving immigrants driver's licenses. They're actually giving immigrants bank accounts. I mean, do you understand? And, you know, aside from them, and look, you have to dissect every single liberal argument. Because a liberal, you can just imagine, we're making the arguments here, and a liberal will say, well, of course, I mean, why don't you let them make money? I mean, they can't make money in their homeland. So why don't you let them make money over here and send it back to their families? I mean, do you not have any compassion? Oh, yeah? Let them make money, huh? Let them make money. Okay, how about them paying taxes? How about that? How about them paying taxes so that they can contribute to the system that they are a detriment on? You see, these are illegal immigrants that are basically going on the government dole, and there's not taxpayers to supplement what they're taking out of the government system. So I'm just saying, and let me tell you something, I want to call the black community out especially. You know, I think blacks at this point need to take their heads out of their asses as it pertains to Whitey, okay? I think Whitey is the last thing that you black folks need to be concerned about at this point in time. As a matter of fact, just in case there's amnesty in this country giving illegal immigrants citizenship, that's it for you black folks, and any opportunities that you thought that was accorded to you by the United States of America. The biggest group that is going to be hurt by any potential amnesty of illegal immigrants and aliens is the black community. Because as I stated, folks, they're the ones, and I'm talking about the illegal immigrants, are the ones that are bringing down the cost of labor, man. And they're the ones being hurt, the black folk, the white trailer park, the Mexican barrios, they're the ones being hurt, man. I mean, don't their lives matter? Huh? Don't, black ghetto lives matter? Don't white trailer park trash lives matter? Don't Mexican barrio lives matter? I mean, how come these liberals can't see that? How come these liberals can't see that there are impoverished Americans in this country that could use the jobs that are being taken by this illegal immigration situation? How come they can't see the poverty that's happening across the board, while at the same time championing this idea that illegal immigrants deserve some level of empathy that is beyond the citizenry of this nation? I don't get it. How come these liberals can't see this? And then when you start analyzing it, you start realizing who the agitators are on these ridiculous race hustling, immigration hustling, and every other divide and conquer hustling issue. You start realizing it's these white, pompous, liberal elitists. These white, pompous, liberal elitists. There's nobody more racist, folks, than white, pompous, liberal elitists, because they're the ones that create these new terminologies for groups of people. They're the ones that divide and conquer people, separate people into groups. They're the ones that create new classes of people. They're the ones who put people in different stereotypical ideologies and ideas of people. And what I mean by that, Black Lives Matter, La Raza Unida, these types of freaking groups. It's the left and liberals that do that. It's the left and liberals that fund this garbage. So for you black folks, I think that instead of going out there and listening to, in my opinion, AIDS-infected D-Ray and burning down your own neighborhoods, burning down black businesses, I think that you need to confront this immigration issue before you are so marginalized that black America becomes irrelevant, all right? I'm not trying to say that I am trying to condone that, but your actions, black folk, by not taking responsibility for your contribution of the degradation of your own community, you are allowing other subsects of people from all across the world to overtake your position as an oppressed minority. Do you understand me? You're allowing other subsects of people to take your title of oppressed minority, so to speak. So unless black folks want to be marginalized into insignificant populations, I strongly advise black folks to start focusing in on the true issues at hand, and one issue that affects them, and whether they don't know it or not, it's this immigration issue. All right? It is an immigration issue, and I think that you black folks need to start focusing in that you are going to be the most hurt. If there's any potential amnesty or any potential open border situation, you will be the first hurt. Anyway, folks, let's go ahead and get to some Twitter shout-outs here, folks. For you folks that don't know, if you want a Twitter shout-out, all you've got to do is retweet the first tweet on my Twitter account, and the tweet to retweet is True Capitalist Radio Live. That's True Capitalist Radio Live. If you retweet that tweet, I will give you a Twitter shout-out live right here on the broadcast, right here and now. Let's get to the engineer. Hey, engineer, do we have any Twitter shout-outs to be had, man? All right, well, let's go ahead and get to some damn Twitter shout-outs right now. Anyway, who else we got here? We got We Was Romans, whatever the hell that means. We got Ward 24 in the house, Dorito Burrito. We've got Zach Goodman in the place. What's going on to Zach Goodman? Who else do we have here, folks? All right. CDI Fan 237, we got Hans Gubensmith. We got Ann and the Wizard in the house, Metal Capitalist, Capitalist Excalibur, excuse me. We've got, I'm not going to say that disgusting name. We've got Commando Nando. How you doing, man? We got 8 equal, whatever the hell that means. We've got Can't Stop the Trump. We got the Omegatron in the place. We got Neon Midnight 02. Christopher Smith in the place. Once again, if you want a Twitter shout-out, all you got to do is retweet the first tweet on my Twitter account, and I'll give you a Twitter shout-out live right here in the broadcast. Here we go. We've got Ghost Clinton. Yeah, shut up, you stupid moron. Milo didn't do nothing. No, shut up with that crap. Don't even start that crap. Don't even start being an apologist for that crap. You understand me? Don't even start being an apologist for this freak. Jesus Christ. Milo didn't do nothing. Get the hell out of here. Give me the mic. How times have changed. Now Milo Yiannopoulos is in a big pack of didn't do nothings. We should have known something when he said he liked, black sausage in the can, if you understand what I'm saying. Huh? I'm just saying. Anyway, we've got Sergeant Yoda in the place. We got Supa in the house. What's going on? We've got Milo Seville. Oh, man. Oh, come on. Come on. We got Distilling Video soon. We got Rosa Parks Short Bus. Oh, man. Come on with that Rosa Parks Short Bus. Oh, God. Rosa Parks Short Bus? Man, that's racist, man. Man, that's racist. Oh, my God. Give me the mic. Man, that's racist, man. Anyway, we got Taco Capitalist in the house. We got floaties for Francisco. Oh, man, come on, man. We know there's a lot of bad things happening in California. This just in, I think the Reno Dam around there is about to burst. I mean, there's a lot of bad things happening out there. I mean, let's not make it a big joke. Let's not make it a big joke. We got Lego Fan 420. What's going on? We've got, I'm not saying that for Christ's sake. We got El Foxo equals Milo. Well, hey, I've heard things too. I don't know. Anyway, we've got the 727 caller. We've got the Brony Network in the house. We've got Keck in the place. We got Free Zorg in the place. What's going on? Trump Magic in the house. Who else we got? I'm not going to say that for Christ's sake. I'm not saying that. Who else do we have here, for Christ's sake? Once again, retweet the first tweet on my Twitter account, and I will give you a Twitter shout-out live right here on the broadcast, right here and now. We've got Dr. Bristle in the place. We got Getting Blown in Texas. Look, man, that's not funny, you asshole! Shut up! Getting Blown in Texas? We just had tornadoes out here in San Antonio, man. I'm lucky to be broadcasting. I'm lucky I wasn't affected, man. I'm lucky to be broadcasting right now. Man, there was like 3 or 4 goddamn tornadoes out here in San Antonio, Texas. I'm lucky to be broadcasting right now. Jesus Christ, give me a... Oh, my God, man. Just don't make fun of the damn tornadoes that we had out here in San Antonio, all right? Jesus Christ, man, you people are sick. We got the Smiler in the house. What's going on? We've got, I'm not saying that disgusting name. We've got Strictly Diesel. Hey, stay safe, Strictly Diesel. We've got Moist Capitalist. I'm not saying these disgusting names, all right? We got Big McLarge Huge. Once again, retweet the first tweet on my Twitter account, all right? You want a Twitter shout-out? Retweet the tweet that states True Capitalist Radio Live, you milky lickers. Jesus Christ. Who else do we have here? We've got, I'm not saying that disgusting name. I'm telling you, you guys are getting sicker and sicker with these freaking names, man. You guys are getting sicker and sicker. Jesus Christ, man. What kind of names are these? Water Park in Oroville? I mean, what's wrong with you people? Seriously, man. I mean, there could be tens of thousands of people dying here, and you people think it's a big goddamn joke. Jesus Christ, man. We got Rock Ape in the place. What's going on? We got Milo Priest Confession. Oh, man, no. No! Damn, Reno. You know what? That's it. You're sick! You're sick! I mean, give me a break, man. Look, this is not funny, man. I mean, people are going to die. I mean, it's not funny. You people are sick, man. This is not funny. Give me the mic. It's not funny. Jesus Christ, man. We got Metroid Junkie in the house. What's going on? Gold anus statue. Okay, that's great. You sick freak. Good God. We got Havel the Rock in the house. Sell Deep State merch. Shut up, all right? Just shut up. I mean, I've got freaking Mr. Fortune Cookie and Mr. Optimism hounding my ass, wanting them. They want to sell their autograph. They want me to sell their goddamn autograph, for Christ's sake. So don't even go there. Don't even go there, man. I'm serious, man. I mean, I've got people asking for it. I want Mr. Optimism merch. I want Mr. Fortune Cookie merch. And I've got people tweeting at me saying, well, if we buy enough Mr. Fortune Cookie merch, can you bring back Radio Graffiti? Well, you know what? Maybe. How about that? Maybe. Who knows? Who knows? Jesus Christ, man. Anyway, who else do we have here? Ghost Limbaugh. Don't call me that. All right, don't call me that ever again. Ghost Alexander Dugan. Do not call me Dugan again. Do not call me Dugan again, all right? Milo touched by hand of God. Milo touched by hand of God. Milo touched by hand of God. Who comes up with these sick names, man? Who comes up with these sick, twisted names? It's sick. Milo touched by hand of God. Good God. Oh my God! Give me that. Son of a bitch! You people are sick, man. Ghost Shekel. Yeah, shove it up your ass, all right? Ghost Shekel. Golden Poop Tickler. What the hell? Golden Poop? What the fuck? What the hell are y'all talking about? Oh my God! I'm just. All I'm trying to do is make this show a little interactive. That's all I try to do is Twitter shoutouts. I just try to make the goddamn show a little interactive, and this is the kind of crap I get, man. Anyway, we've got Freezing Zakata in the house. We've got TCR required reading. Jesus Christ. What's up to Benton Bannon? What's going on to the Just Workman? How you doing? What's going on to Tom? How you doing, man? Who else do we have here? Odd Eyes Magician. We've got Blowjobs Riverwalk. You know what? Shove it up your ass. Just shove it up your ass. That's it, man. That's it. No more Twitter shout-outs for anybody. Give me the freaking mic. Give me the mic. Yeah. That's it, man. I'm not doing any more Twitter shout-outs after that, man. You guys are freaking pieces of crap. You guys are pieces of crap. Jesus Christ. Anyway, we are now in the second hour of the True Capitalist Radio broadcast. And, of course, I am your host, the man they call Ghost. And once again, I want to thank everybody for tuning in with me. Before we get started, I'd like for everybody to please spread it around like wildfire, because this show is purely organic, folks, and we need your help to promote the spread of this particular broadcast. Once again, blogtalkradio.com/ghost. That's blogtalkradio.com/ghost. And, of course, if you have not done so, please follow me on Twitter. The Twitter name to follow is PoliticsGhost. All one word, no underscores. PoliticsGhost is the name to follow, all right? Now that we've gotten all that out of the way, let's go ahead and continue on. I want to talk a little bit about Milo Yiannopoulos. That's right. I want to talk a little bit about Milo Yiannopoulos, folks, because what have I told you about this son of a bitch? I had reported against this guy and talked about this guy months ago. I mean, I remember doing a broadcast related to his Joe Rogan podcast interview when he makes reference to this pedophilia talk. And, I find it ironic now that Milo Yiannopoulos is unfortunately suffering the repercussions of his own words. Now, all of a sudden, we have all the personalities from the so-called alt-right, all the personalities from the so-called alternative media trying to come to the defense of one Milo Yiannopoulos. And I just don't understand why, folks. I mean, we have people that were investigators or key personalities in relation to the investigation of Pizzagate that are actually trying to defend Milo Yiannopoulos, for Christ's sake. I mean, look at this guy, Jack Prosabeik, whatever the hell his goddamn name is. This is a guy who was a special projects director of Citizens for Trump. All right? Look at this, all right? This is the kind of fantasy land these damn alternative media idiots are getting involved in. Look at this guy, a source, $250,000 on opposition research on Milo. Really? $250,000 spent on opposition research on Milo? I just retweeted that. He even goes on to say, hired PIs and video editors, Evan McMuffin involvement confirmed. Evan McMuffin involvement confirmed. For you folks that are unaware of who Evan McMullen is, he was the supposed opposition, the Republican opposition that was put forth by the neocons, ex-CIA agent who ran against Trump and was supposed to thwart Trump from winning Utah, which didn't happen. Now, I think this is unbelievably disgusting that we have so many people that are trying to come to the defense of Milo Yiannopoulos. And let me tell you something, man. I mean, you can't come to the defense of anybody who is going to, whatever he wants to claim it was, make a comment about pedophilia, joke about pedophilia, whatever the case might be. I mean, I mean, how in the hell can you justify this? All right? How in the hell can you justify this? I'm serious, folks. I just don't understand how folks that were once talking about Pizzagate, you know, people that were talking about Pizzagate out here, now all of a sudden are coming to the defense of somebody who was making I mean, he's claiming it was a joke. I don't think it was, folks. I mean, I've heard the Joe Rogan interviews. I've heard the comments that he made that young boys look to older gentlemen for gay relationships so that they can grow as a gay person and, give their feelings as a gay person to this older man. I mean, I don't really know what the hell this guy's talking about. But you know what, folks? What I do want to do is I want to go over the press conference that Milo Yiannopoulos had there today, folks, because it was an utter joke, all right? And before we start taking excerpts and start listening to this for educational, informative purposes and critique purposes only, I would like to remind you that this egomaniac refuses to take responsibility for the actual crap he said. And I want you to take notice that Milo Yiannopoulos, in this little speech today where he resigned, folks, he resigned from Breitbart News. So aside from him getting rejected as the keynote speaker of CPAC, aside from him being dropped from Simon & Schuster for his potential book deal, he now has resigned from Breitbart News. And I just want you to listen to the pompousness of this little fruit bowl. Just listen to this guy and notice all the me, I, my, me, I, my, egotistical crap that this fruit bowl says, and he refuses to take responsibility for it. And you know the worst part about this press conference, man? He tries to claim the victim now. He's trying to use the leftist tactics. All right? I mean, you know, he's trying to use the leftist tactics. Now he's the victim. Now he's the victim of being molested, and I mean, what a joke. I mean, if we're going to take that same mentality of how Milo's a victim, which, hey, if he is a victim, maybe he should have focused that as a focal point of his attention as it pertained to his projection of his rhetoric. I mean, instead of making a joke about it, instead of kidding around about it, instead of thinking that having sex with a priest at 13 years old is something great, I mean, he was bragging about it and justifying why the priest molested him. He was justifying this crap. And I'm telling you this right now, what a joke. What a joke. We might as well go ahead and let Jerry Sandusky's kid off. For you folks that aren't aware, Jerry Sandusky's son was recently picked up in one of these pedophile busts that have been happening all over the country. I mean, if we're going to take Milo's supposed excuse about him being a victim and that's why he's out here condoning pedophilia, well, then we might as well go ahead and give a pass to old Jerry Sandusky's son, for Christ's sake. I mean, what a bunch of horse shit. What a bunch of crap. So with that being said, let's go ahead. Hey, engineer.
Yes, sir.
Put on the damn Milo press conference when he decides to resign from Breitbart. And once again, I want you folks to listen to how he plays the victim and how, even though he tries to play the victim, he still is a pompous, arrogant piece of trash sitting here, me, I, my. Count how many times he says it. It's ridiculous. He's finished. All right, you're finished, Milo, and I can't believe the amount of alternative alt-right media that defended this pedophile. Alex Jones out here making apologist videos for goddamn Milo Yiannopoulos. I mean, can you get any more controlled opposition than this piece of trash? And word is, folks, that Milo Yiannopoulos is actually going to possibly get hired by InfoWars. So, give me a freaking break. Anyway, let's listen to this moron and his goddamn press conference, for heaven's sake. Put it on, engineer!
Thanks for coming, everybody. I'm going to be reading from a prepared statement, and then I'll be happy to take some of your questions. I'm a gay man.
Right off the bat, let's go the leftist route. I am a gay man. Right off the bat, let's go leftist. Let's go right at it. Keep it going, engineer.
And a child abuse victim. Between the ages of 13 and 16, two men touched me in ways they should not have. One of those men was a priest. My relationship with my abusers is complicated by the fact that at the time, I didn't perceive what was happening as abusive. But I can look back now and see that it was. I still don't view myself as a victim, but clearly I am one.
Playing the victim route now. Now he's a victim. Now he's not the fabulous faggot, quote unquote. Now he's a victim. Now he's the victim.
Looking back, I see the effects that this had on me. In the years after what happened, I fell into alcohol and nihilistic partying. It lasted well into my 20s. A few years ago, I realized it was time to do something good with my life. I started focusing on work, but the black comedy, the gallows humor, and the love of shock value I developed in my 20s never really went away. I've reviewed the tapes that appeared a few days ago in the proper context, and I don't believe that they say what is being reported.
What are they saying, Milo? I've heard it. I heard what you said. What is so bad, Milo? I mean, I don't understand exactly what this guy's talking about. What is it? What is out of context from what you said? I don't see where anything he said is out of context. I heard it, and anybody who heard the clips heard it as well. Keep the tape rolling, engineer.
Nonetheless, I do say some things on the tapes that I do not mean, and which do not reflect my views. My experiences as a victim led me to believe that I could say almost anything on this subject, no matter how outrageous. But I understand that my usual blend of sassy, gay British sarcasm, provocation, and gallows humor might have come across as flippancy. A lack of care for other victims, or even worse, as seems to have been the case in reports, advocacy. I'm horrified by that impression. I would like to restate my disgust at adults who sexually abuse minors. I'm horrified by pedophilia, and I have devoted large portions of my career.
Notice my, I, me.
To exposing child abusers. I've exposed 3 of them in my reporting, which is 3 more than most of my critics. I've repeatedly expressed disgust at pedophilia in my feature and opinion writing, and I was also the first journalist in the UK to ask, after Jimmy Savile's death, whether the real story of his rampant child abuse would ever be told. My professional record is very, very clear. But I do understand that the videos that you have seen, even though some of them were deceptively edited, paint a different picture, and I am partly to blame for that.
Oh, you're partly to blame for it. You're all to blame for it, Milo. I mean, good God. I mean, listen, this guy is completely avoiding responsibility like some chick, you know? I mean, this guy is literally displaying the Million Women's March right in front of my very eyes right here. I mean, listen to this guy. Put it back on, engineer, for Christ's sake. I mean, this is just, it's ridiculous. It's utterly ridiculous.
Even though some of them were deceptively edited, paint a different picture, and I am partly to blame for that. I do not advocate for illegal behavior. I explicitly say in the tapes, in a section that was cut from the footage that you've seen, that I think the age of consent currently is about right. I do not believe that any change in the legal age of consent is justifiable or desirable. I don't believe that sex with 13-year-olds is okay. When I mentioned the number 13, I was talking about myself and the age that I lost my virginity. It strikes some Americans as unusual or strange, but my mother's native Germany, the age of consent is 14. We have a different approach to these things sometimes in Europe.
Oh, now it's a cultural thing. I mean, do you hear the leftist excuses coming out of this scumbag? I mean, do you hear the leftist excuses coming out of this guy, for Christ's sake? I mean, Jesus Christ, what a loser. What an unadulterated loser, for Christ's sake, man. How dare this guy sit here and try to make a comment that, it's 13 years old or 14 years old in Germany. That's, Jesus Christ. What a joke. And look at this. Look at it. Milo's even making Templeton cry. Look at this. What is wrong, Templeton? Look at this. You know what? Do you see that, Milo? You're even making my dog cry. Good God. Anyway, folks, the reason that I am sitting here trying to convey this, hey, calm down, Templeton. Calm your ass down. Good God. You see what you did, Milo? You see what you did? Yeah, this is it. This is the God, Templeton, God damn it. Anyway, folks, sorry. I'm trying to calm Templeton down here. Let's go back to what we're talking about. Unfortunately, we've got Milo up here. He's upsetting my dog. Let's get back to the speech here. Shut up, Templeton.
I shouldn't have used the word boy. Gay men often use boy or girl to mean men of consenting age.
No, they don't. You see that, folks? You hear that lie right there? That is not a gay terminology in which they call age of consent males. Okay? I mean, why would they use the term boy in an age of consent male within the gay community? I mean, give me a freaking break. Stop lying, Milo!
I understand how heterosexual people may not have realized that, and that was an error. I was, in fact, talking about my own relationship when I was 17 with a man who was 29. The age of consent in the UK is 16. I did say that...
Now notice how he's saying the age of consent in Germany is 14. The age of consent in the UK is 16. Trying to justify, once again, his perception of, pedophilia, for a lack of a better term, man. I mean, how else do you want to put this? I mean, come on. How can anybody defend this? Honestly, how can anybody defend this?
Of consenting age. But I understand how heterosexual people may not have realized that, and that was an error. I was, in fact, talking about my own relationship when I was 17 with a man who was 29. The age of consent in the UK is 16. I did say that there are relationships between older gay men and younger gay men that can help the younger gay man escape from a lack of support or understanding at home. It's perfectly true, and every gay man knows it.
Oh, really? Oh, really? Did you hear that right there? Every gay man knows that when you're a young kid, when you're a young gay kid, you're supposed to get with an older gentleman so that you can open up about your gayness that you can't with your parents. What a bunch of crap. Listen to how he's trying to rewrite the way gay is supposed to be. Unbelievable.
I'm certainly guilty of imprecise language, which I regret. Anyone who suggests, however, that I turn a blind eye to illegal activity or to the abuse of minors is unequivocally wrong. I'm implacably opposed to the normalization of pedophilia, and I will continue to report and speak accordingly. To repeat, I do not support child abuse, the disgusting crime of which I have personally been a victim.
I'm a victim. Me, I, my.
The remarks I made on podcasts and interviews more than a year ago were about my personal life experiences, but I didn't make that clear. I will not apologize for dealing with my life experiences in the way that I choose to, which is through humor and provocation. No one can tell me or anyone else who has lived through these experiences how they should best deal with those emotions. But I am sorry to other abuse victims who may have interpreted what I said as flippant or uncaring. If my own personal way of dealing with what happened to me has hurt you, I will never stop making jokes about taboo subjects. Go into any drag bar or gay club and you will hear joke after joke after joke about clerical sexual abuse.
Now, did you hear that? Now, I think that's an insult to gay people across America. that he is insisting that gay folks in their gay clubs are actually talking about clerical sexual abuse. Did you hear that? Let's hear that one more again, because he's making a lot of assumptions about gay folks, which I think could hurt gay people in general. Hear that again.
Flippant or uncaring. If my own personal way of dealing with what happened to me has hurt you, I will never stop making jokes about taboo subjects. Go into any drag bar or gay club and you will hear joke after joke after joke about clerical sexual abuse.
Clerical sexual abuse? Are you shitting me? Excuse my French, folks. And you've got Alex Jones, Cernovich, and all these alt-right personalities defending this guy? I mean, are you hearing? This is his resignation from Breitbart today. Listen to this moron. And I'm not re-editing this. This is exactly what he said.
I'm not afforded the same freedom to make those kinds of jokes because the media chooses to selectively define me as a political figure in some circumstances and a comedian in others. And also, of course, because I'm a conservative. But I said some things on those internet live streams that were simply wrong. My employer, Breitbart News, has stood by me while others caved. They've allowed me to carry conservative and libertarian ideas to communities that would otherwise never have had them. They have been a significant factor in my success.
You notice all the my, me, I talk here?
And I'm grateful for the freedom and for the friendships that I forged there. But I would be wrong to allow my poor choice of words to detract from my colleague's important job, which is why today I'm resigning from Breitbart effective immediately. This decision is mine alone. When your friends have done right by you, it's only right to do right by them. And for me, that means stepping aside so my colleagues at Breitbart can get back to the great work they do. My book, Dangerous, has received interest from other publishers after my previous publisher, Simon & Schuster, informed me they no longer wish to release it. The book will come out this year as planned, with perhaps an additional chapter. I'll be donating...
I mean, look at this guy. He's still selling his book. I mean, this is supposed to be a somewhat of an apologist, somewhat of a, you know, a humbling experience. And look at this idiot. What a freaking media whore.
10% of my royalties to child sex abuse charities.
Oh, 10% of his royalties, not the book sale, his royalties. 10% of his royalties to child sex abuse charities. Like that makes everything okay, Milo. You're acting like a leftist more and more as this goddamn press conference continues to go forward. What a jagoff. And this guy represented the right?
I haven't ever apologized before, and I don't anticipate ever doing it again. Name-calling doesn't bother me, and misreporting doesn't bother me. But to be a victim of child abuse, and at the same time be accused of being an apologist for child abuse, is absurd. I regret the things that I said. I don't think I've been as sorry about anything my whole life, and this isn't how I wanted my parents to find out about this either. But let's be clear about what's happening here. This is a cynical media witch hunt from people who do not care about children. They care about destroying me and my career, and by extension, my allies. They know that although I made some outrageous statements, I've never actually done anything wrong. They held this story back. They held the footage back, footage that's been out there in the wild for over a year.
No. Hey, let me tell you something, Milo. I was one of the first people months ago talking about this Joe Rogan interview when you were blatantly, nonchalantly, in an indirect way, sarcastically condoning being molested by a priest. I mean, this guy, if you have not seen the Joe Rogan interview, I'm not going to air it, but you need to go check it out for yourself. I mean, this guy condones pedophilia, and at the end of it, which I find interesting, he talks about going to these Hollywood parties and witnessing old men having sexual relations and drugging young boys. Is he going to name those names of those Hollywood parties and those people in those Hollywood parties? I mean, that's another question I'd like to ask there, Milo. Go ahead, keep it going, engineer.
Because they don't care about victims. They don't care about children. They only care about bringing me down. They will fail. I will, in the next couple of weeks, be announcing a new independently funded media venture of my own, and a live tour in the coming weeks, and new campus tour dates.
Yeah, do you hear that? Here it is. He's using this press conference to pimp himself out once again. I mean, can't you have a little bit of a humbling experience if you're genuinely trying to make a concerted act of contrition? Huh, Milo? I mean, could you refrain from pimping yourself out there, you media whore bastard? I mean, Jesus Christ. I mean, listen to this guy. I've got more tour dates coming in.
They don't care about victims. They don't care about children. They only care about bringing me down. They will fail. I will, in the next couple of weeks, be announcing a new independently funded media venture of my own, and a live tour in the coming weeks, and new campus tour dates, part of my new Troll Academy tour. I started my career as a technology reporter who wrote about politics, but I have since mutated and grown into something quite different and much bigger.
Me.
In America and beyond. I'm grateful for the tens of thousands of messages that I have received. And I look forward to making you all laugh, cry, and think for many, many decades to come. My full focus is now going to be on entertaining and educating everyone, left, right, and otherwise.
Oh, so now he's going to be a little less serious all of a sudden. Now he's an entertainer now. Now he's an entertainer now, all right? Oh, that's great. That's great. And look, I know that there's people that probably don't care about this issue, but I knew that this was coming, folks. The prognosticator of prognosticators strikes again. I'm a very good judge of character. I saw this coming months ago. That's why when I saw this idiot agitate that riot in Berkeley University, the belly of liberalism, I knew that there was another motive behind this guy outside of basically providing a decent face for the Trump train. This guy is making the Trump train look bad. He's making us look stupid. He's making us look... I mean, let me tell you, I think this throws backwards the investigations into Pizzagate and gives more discredit, a more discredited notion towards Pizzagate as well. This is horrible, and this guy being so pompous and arrogant in this freaking press conference. That's why I had to say. That's why I had to let everybody hear it. That's why I had to let everybody hear it. Listen to this guy. This is supposed to be the right wing of the political spectrum, for Christ's sake.
If you want to brand or stereotype me, good luck with that. Don't think for a moment that anything that has happened in the last 48 hours will ever stop me being as offensive, provocative, and outrageously funny as I choose on any subject I please. America has a colossal free speech problem. The land of the First Amendment has someone...
do you hear this arrogant asshole? Now he's blaming it on America. Now it's America's fault that we can't get his goddamn pedophile humor. Do you hear this? The fucking goal of this guy, you... America's got a free speech problem because we don't want to pellet your pedophile crap? The arrogance of this fruit bowl, man. The arrogance of this fruit bowl. Now he's blaming America. Now it's America's constitutional problem. Give me the mic. Now it's America's fault that this guy's an immigrant. He's not even American. It's now America's fault that he can't joke around and talk about pedophiles. What a joke. What an arrogant asshole.
The most oppressive social restrictions on free expression anywhere in the Western world. I'm proud to be a warrior for free speech and creative expression, and I want everyone in America to have the right to do, be, say, read anything. I want people to be able to dress however they want. I want people to be able to play whatever video games they want. I want people to...
You know, that's not necessarily true, Milo, because you were just on Bill Maher on Friday talking massive garbage about the transgender community and how they're a mental disorder. And here you are in this press conference trying to act like you're Mr. Enlightenment over here, embracing everybody's differences. You're a hypocritical piece of attention whore crap.
Realize their potential and have the full limits of creative expression available to them. That isn't currently the case in America. America is a country I love. America is a country that has taken me in. Its people have taken me in, and I'm very grateful for that. I am proud to be a free speech warrior in America, and I will continue to do that. I'm not going anywhere. Thank you very much. I will take perhaps 5 questions.
Anyway, that's good, and I don't want to hear his question. Just get him off, for Christ's sake, man. But did you hear that arrogant asshole, folks? Huh? It's not. It's me, I, my, throughout the whole goddamn press conference, and he blames everybody from America's interpretation of what is legal age of consent, to him being a victim of pedophilia, to America's free speech problem. I mean, this guy threw every goddamn excuse in the book like a typical goddamn liberal piece of trash. And yet, we still have everybody in the alternative right media out here trying to condone this guy's activity, trying to justify what this man said, and I think it's sick. I think it's utterly disgusting, man. I mean, I can't believe that this person has the audacity to sit here and have such an arrogant resignation press conference from Breitbart. But this should be the end of Milo, folks. All right, and anybody who's trying to justify this guy after this, I mean, you know, look, you got to pass if you justified this guy and, you know, were a fan of this guy back before he became an egotistical pro-pedophile maniac. But right now, folks, I mean, this is it for Milo. He needs to, and I wouldn't be surprised if he disassociates himself from the right-wing political spectrum. And my personal opinion, I think that he's going to turn full-fledged liberal. All right? I mean, I think he's going to turn full-fledged liberal. And you know what else I think that needs to happen? And I'm going to do it right now as far as the capitalist army is concerned. We renounce whatever the interpretation of the alt-right is. Because in my personal opinion, folks, when I saw the deplorable on YouTube live streamed, and I saw it looked like an LGBT convention, folks. And not that I have anything against gay folks, all right? I don't. What I have a problem with is that here it is, it's deplorable. It's supposed to be celebrating all the hard work that the Trump train did to help President Trump become elected. Here you've got these fruity asses at deplorable, leprechaun in their asses. I don't want to see that. Oh, why don't you act professional? Why don't you take the event serious, for Christ's sake, man? Look, I renounce the alt-right, all right? I'm talking Richard Spencer. I'm talking, Cernovich. I'm talking Alex Jones. I'm talking all these freaking shills out here that, with all due respect, in my personal opinion, are more than obvious controlled opposition. I mean, more than obvious controlled opposition, for Christ's sake, man. I mean, why exactly everybody was taking up for Milo, I have no idea, but it makes us, those of us on the right, look no different than those on the left. We're no different if we are going to embrace and defend Milo Yiannopoulos for words that he said. And those words he said were vile, and if you're going to condone that activity, what did I tell you yesterday, folks? And what have I been saying for the past week? The last moral line in the sand. The last moral line in the sand in this moralist society is whether you believe pedophiles should be executed or condoned. Now, that's the last moral line in the sand. And if you are going to condone anyone who promotes or, has some sort of nonchalant attitude towards pedophilia, child sex abuse, then in my personal opinion, folks, those people deserve to, at the very least, be thrown in a prison where, regular general prison populations can do God's work on these people, if you understand what I'm saying. And if they are convicted pedophiles, if there is proof beyond a reasonable doubt that these people molested children, then in my personal opinion, they should be executed. They should be executed, for Christ's sake, man. So as far as I'm concerned, folks, that's the last line of the sand. You either condone pedophiles like Milo and those that are trying to back up Milo, who were once, at one time, investigating Pizzagate, or you just think pedophiles should be dead. And that's what I believe. I believe all pedophiles should be executed. I don't even want to think twice about it. If you're convicted and there is a beyond a reasonable doubt that you have been shown to have molested children, you should be put to death. There is no rehabilitation for anyone who robs children of their innocence. There is no such thing as rehabilitation. You should be put to death. And you've got Milo over here wondering why people are taking a little bit of offense to the kind of garbage he was promoting on a variety of different social media fronts. I mean, he's trying to blame everything from him being a victim of child sex abuse to that it's a different legal age of consent in Europe, to America's got a free speech problem, to, I mean, do you understand? He did not want to take responsibility or act humble in this regard one bit. So, once again, if you were once a fan of Milo and, you know, you started realizing now this guy is a sick, twisted, in my personal opinion, pro-pedophile piece of trash, well, you know, then, you know, by all means, stop condoning him, stop promoting him, stop buying his stuff, stop going to his goddamn, what is it got now? It's called the Troll Factory Tour. I mean, give me a break with this guy already. Give me a break. What a joke. Anyway, I'm going to move on to another subject matter, folks, but as far as I'm concerned, the capitalist army denounces the alt-right, and all the alt-right has done is put egg on the face in those of us on the Trump train that want Trump to fulfill all the things that he said in his campaign. That's all we're trying to do. We want to make sure that we hold the Republicans' feet to the flame so that they stop sitting on their thumbs and start passing legislation that was promised during the campaign of Donald Trump. I mean, this is what I want. I'm not out here trying to make some kind of outrageous statements in hopes of rabble-rousing people, of triggering people. And this should go to show all of you that fame, as much as people want it, and attention, as much as people want it, you can get a little too famous, man. And that's why I keep telling you, you know, people were trying to take up for PewDiePie. There is no difference than what, well, like aside from context, of course, but the scenario is the same. PewDiePie said something, blatantly said it, all right? Now, they only edited out one part of the clip, and of course, you can blame the trolls for PewDiePie basically getting fired from Disney and getting removed from YouTube Red, because I remember getting it from 3 or 4 different trolls on my Twitter feed that, oh, look, PewDiePie, he's down with Hitler. Oh, look, PewDiePie, he's a Nazi. And I could only imagine that trolls were probably spreading that clip all over the place. And then when somebody got a hold of it from the mainstream media and said, wait a minute, how can this guy who caters to children on an entertainment basis, how can this guy say this comment even if it was in satire? That's why he was signed with Disney, folks. He was signed with Disney because he caters and panders to children. All right? And when you're getting paid $15 million a year, you don't have freedom of speech. That's what I keep telling you. When you sell out and you're taking millions of dollars, because when you're taking millions of dollars, folks, you got to sign contracts. And in those contracts are morality clauses. So you don't have the freedom of speech that you think you have if you're getting paid millions of dollars. And the reason I suggest this, folks, is because that's what it's all about. It's about earning a living. You understand that? When you're at work, all right, when you're at work and whatever your job is, you have to wear a uniform or you have to dress a certain way. You've got to look a certain way. You got to talk a certain way. You've got to have a certain rapport to customers. You've got to service. You got to do stuff you don't want to do in order to get paid at the end of the week, so that then when you have the paycheck in your pocket, you can have the freedom to do whatever it is that you can afford. That's what earning a living is all about. But you see, people are misconstruing this idea that just because you're employed, that you have the freedom of speech even when you're doing something you're getting paid to do. That is not the case. Hey, you want to be free? You want to be truly free? Hey, go out and become Bukowski. You know that poet Bukowski? Why don't you go be that guy? That guy was free. That guy he could make obnoxious, disgusting, filthy poetry and be an obnoxious, disgusting, filthy drunk. I mean, that guy was as free as hell, Charles Bukowski. All right? That's freedom. That's why he was able to say whatever it is that he wanted to say. I mean, that's why he made such obnoxious and sick poetry, because he had the freedom to say it, because he wasn't working for anybody else but himself. All right, and the same thing with Milo Yiannopoulos. Milo Yiannopoulos started, signing with Simon & Schuster, started getting big book deals, started being put on Bill Maher, started doing this and that. And when you become famous like that, people are going to hold you to scrutiny. All right, you're exposed to millions upon millions of people, and you're exposed to scrutiny, and unless you can deal with the scrutiny of the things that you have said, then you can't sit here and suggest that it's anybody else's fault but yourself. So as I stated, folks, there ain't no free speech in this Pootie Pie scenario. There ain't no free speech in this Milo Yiannopoulos scenario. Both these people were paid to do a job, and Milo, I don't know what the hell his job was, to be honest with you, but it sure as hell wasn't talking and condoning and promoting pedophilia. Jesus Christ. Anyway, let me move on to another subject matter. I don't want to talk about Milo Yiannopoulos anymore. Let's talk a little bit about Mike Pence here. Mike Pence goes to Europe, and, you would think that you'd send this stupid establishment lackey to Europe and he won't cause any problems. Lo and behold, he gets in front of the goddamn European stage and says that the United States supports the EU and NATO 100%. Going against the President of the United States, which made comments towards the EU and NATO this past speech that he had this Saturday. And let me tell you, this just proves that goddamn asshole Mike Pence is an establishment hack, and he is doing everything he can to work against the president. All right? And if I were the president, I would keep Mike Pence out there, send him to Africa. Get it away. I'm not even joking around. Send him to Africa. What damage can he do out there, for Christ's sake? Send him to Africa on an America unification tour or some kind of crap. Jesus Christ, man. Mike Pence going against the president, against his views on the EU and NATO. I mean, let's be honest. Remember, Donald Trump, he was Mr. Brexit. Remember when he said that? Remember when he tweeted that? He's going to be known as Mr. Brexit? Like I'm known as Mr. Black People? You know what I'm saying? Now, if he wanted to be known as Mr. Brexit, why exactly would he be 100% behind the European Union? He's not. Why would he be 100% behind NATO? He's not. All right? And not to say that he is completely against NATO, but he wants NATO to pay their fair share to this international organization, which they don't. We, the United States, of course, are getting the shaft. We're funding this goddamn organization, and of course these international bureaucrats are the ones reaping the rewards. And it's time for that to stop. So for Mike Pence to go out here in Europe and step all over his nuts by trying to contradict the president just goes to show you that the Republican establishment is against Trump, and that's why those of us on the Trump train have to start getting serious and start holding these Republicans' feet to the fire. Because if we don't, folks, no one else is going to. I mean, look at these cult of personality assholes in the alt-right. They're not doing anything but bolstering their own egos, promoting their own books, promoting their own merch. I mean, they're not helping conveying the proper information necessary so that those that are on the fence, that are left of center, right of center, can be convinced that the Trump train is conducive to making their lives better. And I'm saying this right now, folks. I am taking this show serious, all right? This is going to be a serious show. And the reason I suggest this, folks, is because I can see that the alternative right media is a controlled opposition, and they are preventing the actual truth from being presented to the people itself or the people that they broadcast to. I am not controlled opposition, folks. I am independent, and I'm going to stay independent so that I can continue to have the freedom of speech that I've continued to practice on this broadcast for the past 9 years. And that's why, folks, I am not going to go and I'm not going to sell out. I'm not going to go out here and sign to some big freaking corporation that's going to pay me millions of dollars, because that will prohibit me from conveying the ideas and the message that I'm trying to convey on this broadcast today. And that message, capitalism, man, freedom. And as I alluded to yesterday, all of us on the right, we have to push the message. We have to push the message of embracing difference. Because right now, the left, the liberals, they're conformists. All right? They're conformists. Now, all of a sudden, the right wing of the political spectrum is now the counterculture of this conformist leftism that seems to be plaguing the simpletons of this country. And that's why the left is taking it very serious. The establishment Republicans and Democrats are taking this very serious. The globalists are taking this very serious. And by God, that's why we have to take things very serious. And that's why, folks, here within the next week or so, yours truly is going to start his own online publication delivering original news content from all over the world. Now, for you folks that are unaware, I have comprised some of the best talent from the inner circle and the capitalist army to become correspondents in countries all over the world so that they can give rich original content to individuals seeking out real news. Real news. News that is presented with facts. And anybody who is going to present any kind of social commentary in this news organization that we are constructing is going to have the title opinion. Opinion. Because what I want to do is convey real news that isn't slanted one way or the other so that the reader can make their own assessment on how they're going to interpret the information. And that's why we are going to take this very, very serious. And we've got correspondents all over the world. We've got correspondents in Poland, in Europe, in Britannia, in Norway, in Finland, in Ireland, in Australia, in New Zealand, in Asia, in South America, in Canada, I can go on and on. And what we're going to do is we are going to comprise true, rich information from the ground level up. The ground level up. So we're going to be able to have rich video content by producers that are going to contribute to this publication, giving you a first-hand glimpse of people on the streets of wherever is being reported. The streets of Australia, the streets of Europe, Britannia. I mean, these are going to be rich stories comprised of politics, economics, and social commentary. So once again, folks, I am looking forward to this, and this has been a kind of a project long time coming, and I want to go ahead and announce this now here within the next week or so. It's going to be live, and we're going to promote that online publication within the next week or so. But the reason that I'm doing this, folks, is because we have to take this serious. We have to take this serious. And right now is a perfect opportunity for those of us in the capitalist army, for those of us that take this political participation, this political obligation serious, and those that actually want to change the world by changing the ideas that are perceived by the world. This is the kind of publication that we're going to put out. And it's going to comprise articles that are riveting, and not just articles, video, pictures, audio. It's going to be great, man, and I can't wait for it, and I hope that you folks are anticipating it, and we're taking a big step into the realm of seriousness when this publication, this online publication, is finally up and running. So I'm very excited about that. Everyone who's participating in it, I want to thank you ahead of time, because I personally believe that we are going to be onto something that I think we're underestimating, in my personal opinion. I think right now is a ripe opportunity to provide a news organization that provides real news, not biased slant. And not to mention, folks, no one is paying us to do anything other than ourselves. We have no biases, that we have no rich billionaire who is funding our operation. We have no corporation funding our operation. We have no governments funding our operation. Baby, we are pure organic capitalists. And that's all there is to it. That's all there is to it. Anyway, I just wanted to give a little bit of insight on that. Let's continue going on with the broadcast here, folks. We were talking about how Mike Pence is doing everything to go against the President of the United States, specifically with his stance that he publicly announced in Europe about 100% being behind the European Union and NATO. Let's go ahead and continue to talk about the Republican establishment. Let's talk about how the Republicans continue to stall, folks. The Republicans continue to stall as it pertains to passing legislation. I mean, I want these tax cuts already, baby. All right? I want to hurry up and start tax planning so that I can, start making some moves, so I could start doing some business investing, for Christ's sake, man. They are dragging their feet. I'm talking about the Republicans in Congress. They are dragging their feet on the tax plan. They're dragging their feet on the Obamacare. They're dragging their feet on every piece of legislation that has been promised during the campaign. And that's why I'm taking this very serious, folks, because we need enough serious political people that can legitimately put pressure on the political apparatuses of not just America, but throughout the world. Throughout the world. I want us to make impacts throughout the world. I want us to be critical of governments throughout the world. I want us to report and give the truth to the people that actually go and seek out the information from us. Anyway, folks, once again, I want to implore each and every one of you to contact your congressman, tweet at your congressman, drop Facebook messages on your congressman, mail your congressman, and tell them to stop pussyfooting around and start facilitating some goddamn bills here. They are sitting on their thumbs, they're acting like business as usual, and they think that the American people are going to be complacent, and they're going to think, and they are thinking right now, that the American people don't care. And we've got to show them we care, folks. I care. That's why I keep doing this broadcast. As I said at the beginning of this broadcast, man, I'm tired, man. I do 3 hours a day. Before I even do this broadcast, I got to prep for 2 hours. All right, that's 5 hours a day of dedicated work so that this broadcast can actually be a reality. And the reason I do it is because I'm trying to convey information to those that are listening, man. I mean, that's the only way we're going to win this fight. That's the only way we're going to change the world. That's the only way we're going to change the perspective of people, is if we, who take politics seriously. We in the capitalist army start reshaping the perspective of people. We start playing the grand chessboard. We become players and influencers within the international community. That is the only way that we are going to change the world, one nation state at a time. I'm telling you this right now. I am very excited about this, and I am going to be promoting this here in the next week, so I hope that you folks, I hope that y'all are readers. I hope that y'all bookmark the website. This is very serious, and I think that we're on the cusp of something that I am underestimating, in my opinion. Anyway, with that being said, let me continue going. Once again, Republicans are stalling on legislation that was promised during the campaign. And I'm imploring you, please contact your congressman. If they get enough response, they will crack. They will crack. We just have to have enough people that are serious enough to actually contact these scumbags. Anyway, once again, let's continue going here. Now, did anybody hear about this last night in Sweden comment that was made at the Melbourne, Florida rally by President Trump? And then the next day, Sweden acted as if Trump farted on their best suit or something. I mean, what a bunch of crap. They were trying to come out and say that Trump is exaggerating the kind of Islamic terror and disorder and chaos that's happening in Sweden. All right? And that's literally, it was freaking trending on Sunday that President Trump made some kind of a gaffe as it related to the disorder that's happening in Sweden. Well, folks, vindicated once again, Donald Trump has basically foretold the future because, folks, I don't know if it's still going on, but at least 5 or 6 hours ago, there were riots in the streets and in the suburbs of Sweden, of course, in the heavily populated refugee areas of Sweden, folks. So, once again, Donald Trump looks pretty much vindicated, all right? Pretty much vindicated as it relates to this particular issue, all right? And let me tell you something right now. Sweden is gone, all right? You remember when Sweden was literally a farm for you to get the most ripest, blonde-haired, blue-eyed, big-boobed bimbo, from, literally the source of Bavaria to, I don't know what the hell kind of wild Yehudi, Sharia law, cuckold, connoisseur country that Sweden is now at this point in time. I don't know what it is. I have no idea what the hell it is, what it's turned out to be, and I think it's a damn shame. I think it's a damn shame what's happened to all of Europe, for heaven's sake. You know what I mean? I'm surprised what's happening to all of Europe because of this migrant crisis, folks. So that's why I'm saying POTUS, the President of the United States of America, vindicated after allegedly making a gaffe on the last night in Sweden comment that was made at the Melbourne, Florida speech rally at the Trump rally. A complete vindication, all right? So what do you got to say now, Sweden? What do you got to say now? You've got riots. You've got cars burning. You've got all kinds of chaos in the street. Are you going to try to deny that now, Sweden? Huh? Just like you did this past Sunday, you're going to try to deny it? You can't deny it. You can't deny the video footage. You can't deny the pictures. You cannot deny it, Sweden. Vindicated once again, my president. I'm telling you. They try to trash Trump every which way they can. And every time they try to make something up, he's vindicated. All right? And as I stated, folks, it's amazing that this president is able to still get so much done and have so much of an impact in such a small amount of time with so much opposition in his path. I'm talking the Republican establishment, the Democrats, the globalists, the mainstream media. Jesus Christ, it's Trump against the world, baby! It's Trump against the world! And that's why I am taking this show serious, and I hope that you take this serious. It's time to take politics serious, man. It's time to make America great again. It's time to participate in the capitalist revolution, because that's what's going on here. It's the capitalist revolution. That's why Donald Trump has one of the richest cabinets in world history. It's a capitalist revolution, and that's what you're witnessing right before your very eyes. So why do the globalists want to stop capitalism? Because, folks, globalism is communism. Globalism is communism. That's why they're trying to set up all these nation states into unions, like the European Union, the African Union, the Asian Union, the North American Union. What was Russia called when it was communist? The Soviet Union. I mean, globalism is communism, folks. Central banking was an adherent to communist itself. I mean, Karl Marx wrote about and condoned and promoted the idea of a central bank in his work Das Kapital. So once again, what we are witnessing right before our very eyes in globalism is communism. And what is communism anyway? Communism means the state controls the means of production. Why do you think the globalists are now announcing this past January in Davos, Switzerland, that China is the new model for the world? Why is China the new model for the world? The reason the Chinese are the new model for the world, folks, is because the Chinese government owns all the means of production. The Chinese government are the billionaires. The Chinese government own the industries. That's why the globalists want the Chinese model as the model for the new world order. Anyway, folks, we are now in the third and final hour of the True Capitalist Radio broadcast. And, of course, I am your host, the man they call Ghost. And once again, folks, I want to thank everybody for tuning in with me. Once again, follow me on Twitter if you have not done so. The Twitter name to follow is Politics Ghost. All one word, no underscores. Politics Ghost is the name to follow. And, of course, the official website of the True Capitalist Radio broadcast is blogtalkradio.com/ghost. That's blogtalkradio.com/ghost. Every one of my episodes is there to download absolutely free, time dated and stamped. Go and experience all the prognostications that yours truly has made since 2008, baby. All right, because they're there. They're all there. Anyway, once again, folks, we've got President Trump vindicated as it pertains to the supposed last night in Sweden gaffe. Complete and total vindication, total victory. Anyway, let's continue going, folks. Did you all hear about this radiation spike in Europe? Yeah, apparently Geiger meters from all across Europe are detecting high amounts of radiation coming from the north being projected onto Europe. High levels of radiation. And people are starting to fear that since Putin was up there in the Arctic conducting whatever kind of military operations up there here recently, people are suspecting that Putin may have tested a nuclear weapon in the Arctic North. And if this is the case, folks, then why in the hell is Putin doing this? If he is anti-globalist, if he's Mr. Nationalist over here that's against globalism, why is he doing this? As I've alluded to, folks, in my personal opinion, I believe that Russia is at the bottom of the New World Order. They're at the bottom of globalism. And the reason I say this, folks, is because they're trying to basically control globalism from behind the scenes. And I alluded to this yesterday, that when the Soviet Union fell, all right, it didn't really fall. It went underground, and what it did is it allowed the recapitalization of Russia once the Soviet Union fell by allowing all these Russian oligarchs to recapitalize the state. And then once Putin came into power, he incrementally started taking away the freedoms that were accorded post-Soviet Union and started taking them away from the people, started taking voting rights away as soon as he came into power, started taking away the freedom of the press, started taking away different kinds of authorities, he basically propped up a makeshift puppet leader of a new leader of Russia, a new president of Russia in Medvedev. Y'all remember that? When he basically appointed his successor, and then Putin conveniently made himself prime minister at the same time. What a joke. What an absolute joke. Anyway, the point is that at some point here about 2 years ago or so, 2.5 actually years ago, 3 years ago, Putin kicked out all of American business interests, kicked out all the Russian oligarchs, and took all that money for himself. I mean, he technically utilized the lay-low period of the Soviet Union during the tenure of Boris Yeltsin and allowed the oligarchs to recapitalize Russia so that when the communists came back into power, which is what's happening right now in Russia, the communists are recapitalized with fresh new cash. That's why we read here recently that Vladimir Putin is worth $200 billion. $200 billion this commie's worth, for Christ's sake, man. $200 million. So that's all I'm saying, man. I mean, you know, this is what's happening in Russia. In my personal opinion, I think that Russia is at the bottom of the goddamn whole New World Order situation. And these guys are continuously trying to now agitate America into a world war situation. Remember, prior to the election, America was trying to goat the Russians into a war. Now all of a sudden Russia is trying to goad us into a nuclear confrontation. What kind of topsy-turvy situation is that? I'm telling you, folks, don't believe Russia. Do not. I think Russia is at the bottom. I know they're at the bottom of the New World Order, and I don't trust these Ruskies. I think they're pieces of trash. You can't trust a Ruski as far as you can throw them. I don't trust them. I do not trust them one bit, and I hope that President Trump has some kind of diplomatic relations with Russia that is a love-hate relationship, but based on respect. It's going to be very precarious how he maneuvers the belligerency of Russia, but I hope that better heads will prevail and that there can be some kind of silent acceptance of respect aside from an actual nuclear confrontation, which I believe Russia is trying to induce. Once again, folks, radiation spike in and around Europe sparks fears that Putin tested a nuke in the Arctic North. That's very scary. That's very scary stuff, man. And look, we cannot afford to go to war with Russia at this point in time because Russia has the nuclear capability of destroying America. Now, that doesn't mean that we don't have a reciprocal destruction capability. I mean, we have a mutual assured destruction pact. If they hit us up, we hit them up, we destroy the world. All right? If we hit them up, they hit us up, we destroy the world. That's pretty much what the game theory that we're playing with Russia is all about. All right? So, once again, folks, this is very, very scary stuff. This has been all over the media. Radiation spike in and around Europe sparks fears that Putin may have tested a nuke. Goddamn Pootie Poo, man. I'm sick of that guy, man. Sick of that damn Ruski bastard. Anyway, let's move on to another subject matter, folks. Now, I want to talk a little bit about Kim Jong-un. I talked about how Trump could possibly utilize North Korea as a mercenary, lunatic band of warmongers. I mean, I honestly believe that Kim Jong-un wants to have some kind of conflict. He wants to have some kind of conflict because conflict will help his nation state sustain itself. Now, we've been having and hearing a lot of stories that there's a lot of defectors coming out of North Korea into South Korea, a lot of high-ranking officials that are telling stories that the ranks within the elites in North Korea is being shaken up, and they're not really trustworthy of Kim Jong-un, and Kim Jong-un is responding by purging massive amounts of his own people. I mean, this includes his own family members. This includes his uncle, for Christ's sake, which was Kim Jong-il's right-hand man. He fed his uncle to a group of rabid, very hungry dogs. So this just goes to show you what kind of a sweet guy Kim Jong-un really is. Now, for you folks that don't know, Kim Jong-un is not the rightful heir to the throne or the communist throne of North Korea. It was actually his older brother, Kim Jong-nam, who was banished by his father after Kim Jong-nam tried to sneak out of North Korea so he could go to Disneyland in Tokyo. Once Kim Jong-il heard Nam was going to Disneyland in Tokyo, he banished him from the country and never spoke to him again. Now, since Kim Jong-nam saw that there was discontent amongst the elites within North Korea, he utilized, from what I've read, his contacts to try to get a message to the elites in North Korea that stated that he was going to lead the government in exile. That he wanted to serve as the head of government in exile because he was the rightful heir to the communist throne. Once this information got to Kim Jong-un, it was over. And Kim Jong-un, as a response, sent some people down to Malaysia to literally kill this guy. Now, what they used to kill him, I have no idea. According to reports, some North Korean agents convinced a couple of chicks out there in Malaysia it convinced them to do this assassination with the intention of them thinking it was a practical joke for some show or some crap. So when the woman, and there's footage of this woman goes in back of Kim and just puts something in his face, and then before you know it, Kim just kind of stumbles to the damn counter there and tries to beg for help, and then just drops dead. And then just drops dead. So anyway, with that being said, folks, Kim Jong-un, the reason he killed his brother Nam is because Nam was trying to take control of the head of state position in exile. And I'm telling you this right now, man. I mean, I don't know what Nam was thinking, because if you have ever read about Kim Jong-nam was like this playboy, kind of a fatty, gambler, drinker, womanizer, real gluttonous son of a bitch. And now that he wants to get away from gluttony and tried to become the exiled leader, Kim Jong-un wasn't going to have none of that. And that's why I'm saying Kim Jong-un is a freaking maniac. And if Trump was smart, and I hope that he's listening, you need to establish some sort of diplomatic relations with North Korea, because at least we know North Korea is not a part of the New World Order. I mean, we know that for a fact. I mean, they don't have a central bank. They don't acknowledge any of the freaking UN, the International World Court. They don't acknowledge any of that crap. So as a result, it would be it would be foreign policy viable for Trump to make some sort of diplomatic move at North Korea. And I alluded to this yesterday. All Trump has to do is go back to the agreement that was signed into international contract law by Bill Clinton and Madeleine Albright in 1994 with Kim Il-sung, the Joint Framework Agreement. In that agreement, and I said this yesterday, Bill Clinton negotiated bilaterally with North Korea. And in that agreement, Bill Clinton agreed that he was going to pay North Korea so many some odd dollars to prevent them from building a nuclear weapon, was going to supply them with an electrical grid system and all kinds of concessions. Now, Bill Clinton semi-obliged by this particular agreement during his tenure as president, but when George W. Bush came into power, he said, right when he came in, that he was not going to obey or oblige the Joint Framework Agreement. And if we take a look back during that time when George W. Bush came into power, it was then North Korea kicked out the IAEA, kicked out the UN inspectors, and started turning on their nuclear reactors, and hence they've been belligerent ever since. And the reason I'm thinking that it's a decent, viable opportunity to start diplomatic relations with North Korea is because, and it's not even like we're starting it, we're just restarting the Joint Framework Agreement that Bill Clinton signed. So if any liberals have a problem with it, Trump can say, hey, we're just doing what Bill Clinton decided, we were doing what Bill Clinton signed into power, that sort of thing. So in my personal opinion, all North Korea wants is money. That's all they want. They need money. And now that China has cut off the export of coal, I'm telling you, North Korea is in a very desperate, precarious situation. And I think that they would do anything so that they can get money to sustain their country. And this includes unleashing havoc on the Asian Peninsula. And that includes agitating China. That includes, all these ballistic missile tests and all these nuclear missile tests and all that, directed towards China. And I think Kim Jong-un will do it. I think this guy right now is such a lunatic, and he's trying every which way to sustain power and grow as a leader, that I think he's capable of doing anything. And I think that he could legitimately cause major ruckus with the Chinese government. And that's why the Chinese government are a little concerned as it pertains to Kim Jong-un's mental state. Because in my personal opinion, now that you've got Japan rearming, remilitarizing themselves, building airplanes, building damn Navy, that sort of thing, they're starting to remilitarize. You've got Vietnam, which isn't very favorable towards China. You've got North Korea. I think that you can have some pressure in the Asian Peninsula out there with these countries if Trump plays the diplomatic cards right. And as I stated, all Kim Jong-un wants is money. That's all he wants is money. And if we pay him what we said we were going to during the 1994 Joint Framework Agreement signed into international law by President Clinton, then I believe that he will do anything he's told to whoever is paying him and sustaining his country and his personal demagogue geopolitical area. Anyway, folks, that's just my suggestion, because right now the shift in the grand chessboard is happening rather rapidly. And right now, America, it's favorable to do business with people who are going to make China, Russia, and every other superpower's life a living hell. And let me tell you, North Koreans, they're fierce fighters, man. That's why they were able to split up the country into two different countries. The North Koreans were not a joke. The Korean fighters in general are not a joke. Same with the Japanese fighters. In my opinion, I think that China is a paper tiger. I think that in the end, if they were to go to war at all, I believe that they would crack under the pressure because I don't believe that their people are 100% behind their communist government. I personally believe that. I don't think that they are 100% behind their communist government. The remnants of Tiananmen Square is still prominent within the minds of those within the Chinese civilization, and I think personally that I don't think they go out and die for the Chinese government. I don't think they go out and fight for the communist government, and if they did, I personally believe that they wouldn't understand how to play the PSYOP game, which I personally believe that we would win hands down. You understand? I'm serious. So anyway, with that being said, let me move on to another subject matter. Once again, Kim Jong-un's half-brother, Kim Jong-nam, reportedly asked to serve as the head of state in exile, and that's why Kim Jong-un had him eliminated. All right? Anyway, let me continue going here. We've got the UK, Brexit news in the bill here, or on the bill. Now, I don't know if y'all heard Jean-Claude Juncker, the president of the European Union. He is now saying that once Britannia leaves the European Union, that Britannia is going to, quote, have a hefty Brexit bill. A hefty bill for Brexit. Now, what I don't understand is, why is Britannia, why do they even have to pay this unelected international governing body? Why would they even have to pay to leave this stupid pissing ground of an international bureaucratic organization? I mean, I don't get it. I don't get it. And is Britannia going to pay the European Union? I read somewhere in the ballpark of $500 million. Are you kidding me? So that you can get away from an institution that wasn't even elected, that tried to rob you of your sovereignty? I mean, this is insane, man. This is insane. I mean, this is utterly insane. I'm not even joking around. I mean, how in the hell can Britannia be expected to pay for something like this? And is Britannia going to pay it? Is Britannia going to pay the supposed exit of the EU? I mean, if they do that, I mean, why even bother leaving the EU then? I mean, seriously. I mean, it's the cuckold connoisseur of cuckold connoisseurs if Britannia pays the EU for leaving. I'm not even joking around. Why don't you go tell the EU to piss off? All right? Why don't you go tell Jean-Claude Juncker, that goddamn drunkard, why don't you tell him to go piss off and go slap some other heads of state that belong to the European Union, for Christ's sake? Did y'all see that drunk son of a bitch? Jean-Claude Juncker? Huh? Jean-Claude Juncker was slapping member states of the EU during a goddamn press conference one day when he was drunk on his ass. Nothing like a champagne socialist president of a European Union, of a non-elected international governing body, utilizing his time as an international bureaucrat to get drunk before a press conference. Oh, isn't that great? Isn't that typical goddamn bureaucrat, for Christ's sake, man? Good God. Anyway, I don't know. I have no idea if Britannia's going to pay this bill to the EU, but if y'all do, man, cuckold connoisseurs is all I got to say. Cuckold connoisseurs. And by the way, speaking of UK, did you hear about this petition that has gotten 1.8 million signatures against Trump's state visit to the UK Parliament? Can you believe this? I mean, people in Britannia gathered 1.8 million signatures in a petition to prevent Trump from coming over to the UK for a state visit. I mean, what the hell is this crap? God damn it, you freaking European cocks! 1.8 million signatures for what? For what, UK? For goddamn what? I mean, that's a slap in the face, man. What a disrespect to this country. You know that? Oh, my God. Give me the freaking mic. I mean, what the hell is that about there, Britannia? What the hell is that about? 1.8 million signatures in a petition against Trump's state visit. What a bunch of crap. God damn, that pisses me off, man. God damn, that pisses me off. I mean, I was out there helping you guys out there with Brexit, trying to, promote the vote leave vote and doing everything I can to help my brethren from across the pond. And now y'all guys are spitting in our faces? You're spitting in our faces, gathering 1.8 million signatures in a petition so that Trump won't visit your goddamn country? How is an American supposed to interpret this crap? How is an American supposed to interpret this? Damn whitey! God damn you, Britannia! God damn you! I can't believe you all did this! I can't believe you are spitting in the U.S.'s face! I can't believe this crap! Give me the mic. I can't believe this garbage. How dare you? 1.8 million signatures in a petition, for Christ's sake, man. I mean, what? You know what? I don't get it. I don't get it, and you know what? I don't want to get it. How you like that? I don't get it, and I don't want to get it. And, to Britannia's credit, I mean, I know that you guys are a little cucked. It's not to go without saying that we don't have our own cuckold connoisseurs out here in America as well. But by God, I mean, how dare you try to sit here and disrespect my president by trying to suggest that he isn't worthy of coming to your country because of what he supposedly said. Jesus Christ, what a joke. What an utter joke, man. What an utter joke! Anyway, look, I don't want to talk anymore about the UK. As a matter of fact, after talking about the UK, after talking about them backstabbing us, I need a drink for Christ. Give me my drink, for Christ's sake, man! That's my president that you're disrespecting there, Britannia! That's my president! Jesus Christ. Anyway, look, I'm going to get to the last subject matter of the day, folks, all right? I want to get to the last subject matter of the day, and the subject matter I want to talk about is a subject matter that was on the Drudge Report today, and it's an article about how millennials are the most narcissistic generation ever. I mean, isn't that stating the obvious, folks? Now, the unfortunate part about this is that, okay, they're narcissistic, but they have got to be also one of the most uneducated populations in American history that is egotistical to a narcissistic point. I mean, you have to understand, folks, a lot of these idiots that are narcissistic are very, very stupid people. I mean, how many young people have you heard out here that are fairly articulate, that know exactly what they're talking about, especially these young people that are protesting at these ridiculous protests? How many times have you heard a microphone in their face and them just sputtering out nothing but gargle, nothing but sentence fragments, nothing but incoherent crap? I mean, this is the most narcissistic generation with the most ignorant perception ever. I mean, this is the same millennial generation that's talking about free college for everybody, not knowing that free college for everybody nullifies the prominence of a college degree. When everybody has a college degree, then a college degree becomes meaningless. You stupid idiots! A college degree becomes meaningless if it's for free. Do you understand me? Then what becomes smarter than a college degree that's free? Well, maybe a super college degree. I mean, there's always going to be something better, you dumbasses. If you make college for free, there'll be a super university where the super elites and the super students go, and then you're going to ask for that one to be free. It's stupid. It's ridiculous, man. You want everything for free, but don't understand how you're going to pay for it. I mean, it'd be one thing if you dumbass idiot millennials, which are mostly a bunch of leftist lunatics anyway, proposed some sort of plan in which you were going to give everything away for free, but somehow sustain it through, taxation or something of that capacity. And you dumbasses, for you people that,
well, no, all we have to do is tax the 1%, Ghost. That's all we have to do. We tax the 1%, we could make free everything for everybody.
You morons, that we could tax the 1%, 100%. We could take all the 1%'s money, okay? And it won't even suffice the running of a single entitlement program, Social Security, for 1 year. Let me repeat that one more again, okay? You could tax the 1%, 100%, taking out all their wealth, and it wouldn't even sustain one government entitlement, Social Security, for more than a year. So that's why I'm telling you, folks, this whole notion that the 1% can pay for everything is crap. I mean, the 1% that pays for everything is not going to be, if you tax them at 100%, they can't sustain the government. They can't give you everything for free. You stupid, dumb millennials and your egotistical, narcissistic asses need to get up off of your goddamn mommy's couch and get back to work. Do you understand me? You stupid millennial! You stupid cartoon fetish! You fat Pop-Tart eating, Cheetos on the keyboard looking pieces of cottage cheese pies having millennial crap! You gotta stop your bitching! Get your fat ass off of your mother's couch and get back to work! You stupid millennial narcissistic piece of... You're stupid! You millennials are not just narcissistic, you're fucking stupid! You're stupid, for Christ's sake! Jesus Christ! I'm sorry. I'm sorry for going off keister, but I'm so sick of this crap. Millennials out here, the most narcissistic generation ever, and they're the most stupid. They're the most ignorant. I mean, just talk to somebody under the age of 20, folks. Just, give me the mic. Give me the mic. I'm not joking around. Just talk to one of these people that are under the age of 20, for Christ's sake. Just listen to the ignorance that exudes out of their suckholes, for Christ's sake, man. It's sick. Go talk to somebody under the age of 20. Listen to the ignorance pour out of these sons of bitches. Listen to these stupid idiots. Make me sick. They make me goddamn sick. They make me sick. I don't understand how they don't make you sick. Anyway, look. let me calm my ass down here, okay? I'm done with this subject, and as a matter of fact, I'm done with covering the subjects today. We got 25 minutes left. Give me my drink! I'm just sick of these young people, folks. I'm sorry. These young people are a disappointment. And, you know, I blame their parents. I blame the education system. But in this day and age of the Internet, you should be able to gather any information, any knowledge that you want. You should be able to have the self-initiative to go out and look for it, read it, and learn it. And learn it! But, of course, it has to be in a video game, doesn't it, huh? Oh, it's got to be in a video game or in a Hollywood movie or in some kind of cartoon for any of these under 20 ass clowns to even be paying attention so that they can gain the knowledge for whatever purpose necessary. Good God. You know what? I'm done with this crap. I'm so done. I'm done. Now, we've got about 25 minutes left, and I know everybody's asking themselves,
are you going to do Radio Graffiti, Ghost? I want to know if you're going to do Radio Graffiti, because that's what I want to listen to, and that's what I like. That's what I like to do. I want to know Radio Graffiti.
Let me tell you something, all right? Let me tell you something. I don't know what we're going to do with Radio Graffiti. And the reason is because, look at this. Look. I'm going to take one call here. Watch this. Radio Graffiti. Radio Graffiti. The Volkswagen Volkswagen is a Nazi. Get out. Yeah, you see, that's what I'm talking about right there. You hear that? You hear that? That's Radio Graffiti right there. Watch this. Hey, Radio Graffiti. Take a look at these. These guys aren't even prepared, for Christ's sake. Helen Keller death mutes. Radio Graffiti.
Jesus Christ. Rika Tashiki, my waifu. Give me my belt. Give me the freaking belt. Give me my belt. My waifu. You see the trick to the goddamn woodshed? You know your goddamn trick to Take that, you stupid loser! Oh, you want to be a loser? Here!
I mean, look, you hear that? This is Radio Graffiti right now, folks. I'm telling you. And you want me to bring this back? You want me to bring this back, for Christ's sake? Look, it's Radio Graffiti. Look at the Helen Keller deaf mute with a damn microphone shoved in his shit funnel. Radio Graffiti. How about Ghost Radio Graffiti? I got a Milo joke, okay? Why did Milo go to the Walmart blue jeans special? Because he heard boys' pants were low. You think that's funny, making fun of child pedophilia? You think that's funny? Yeah. So I'm going to say your freaking number out on the air. No! No! All right, 563-999-3791. And the reason I said your number is because anybody who thinks that it's funny to make fun of child pedophilia, for Christ's sake, well then, by God, somebody should investigate your ass. You know what? Shove it up your ass, you dumb. Shove it up your ass! Yeah, you see, you're going to piss me off. How about that? How about if I end the show right now, ass crack? How about if I end the goddamn show right now, you stupid dumb ass crack? Stupid son of a bitch. Give me a freaking, give me the mic. Give me the mic. Jesus Christ, man. I'm telling you, man, you know, I don't need to be doing this broadcast, man. You understand that I'm tired. I'm tired, and I do this show 3 hours a day, 5 days a week. It takes me 2 hours to plan this son of a bitch. I'm tired. I'm tired. I'm only going to take a couple more. Radio Graffiti.
All hail Britannia! All hail Britannia! All hail Britannia! All hail Britannia!
Oh, that's great. How about Radio Graffiti?
All hail Britannia! All hail Britannia! All hail Britannia! All hail...
Okay, we get it. What the hell is that about, for Christ's sake? 484 Radio Graffiti. The engineer is here. Hey, engineer! Yeah! Give me my smack. Oh, my God, man. Anyway. Oh.
More often than not, the patient has already had a first shot of naloxone by the time they arrive. It's what first responders call Narcan, and it's the antidote to opioids like heroin or fentanyl. A local doctor was already working to revive this addict. Nurses asked us to back away and protect the privacy of their patients. When Narcan works, that is a good call. Sometimes it doesn't in a province where a state of emergency has been declared because 2 people are dying every...
Well, wait a minute. What the hell is that? Was that me ODing on heroin or something? Was that me supposedly ODing on heroin, for Christ's sake? Jesus Christ. How about Karaskin, Radio Graffiti?
Hey, why don't we just do the Ask Karaskin? That'll teach these Radio Graffitis not to mess with you.
Oh, yeah, hey, let's do it. Let's do that now. All right, how about we're going to play everybody's favorite game, Ask Karaskin in the house. All you got to do is ask Karaskin anything that you want to talk about, anything that you want to ask. It's the segment called Ask Karaskin. All right, how about 786, Ask Karaskin?
Well, I actually wanted to ask you, Ghost, since you know more about beer, what kind of beer do you like? Do you recommend anything?
Well, you know, we're not talking about beer, ass crack, all right? Why don't you go shove a beer can up your shit funnel? We're talking about Ask Karaskin here. How about 808, Ask Karaskin?
Hey, Karaskin, Kuna Kaplis here, man.
Hey, how's it going?
Going fine, actually. About to head off to a certain place right now, but so I want to say to both of you, actually, you know, keep up the good work and have a great Taco Tuesday.
Hey, thank you there, Kahuna Capitalist. Once again, Ask Karaskin, 970, Ask Karaskin.
Hey, can you touch your toes?
What kind of question was that? Anybody can touch their toes if they wanted to. Please, this is not rocket science.
Yeah, hey, Karaskin, you know, I'm going to have to put you on hold, man. This is really starting to become a bummer here. As a matter of fact, let's get a cluster call going on here. How about 423-973, 713, who else is on the air here? How about 352, who else is on the air here? Another 352.
Man, we was kings and shit, man. We was kings and shit. Was kings and shit.
Ponies and the campers, ponies and the campers, ponies and barrel roll, wearing diapers, barrel roll, campers, ponies.
It's only trying to write nice stories about ponies and campers. I was only trying to write nice stories. I was only trying to write nice stories about Pappy and Pony.
Ponies. Ponies and campers, ponies and campers, ponies and ponies and ponies. Ponies wearing diapers. Ponies and campers, ponies and campers, ponies and ponies
I was just trying to write nice stories.
All right, let's just shut him off, engineer. Get him out of here, engineer, for Christ's sake. Shut him up! Jesus Christ, man. Anyway, sorry, folks. I mean, but this is the kind of crap that's calling up here, right? This is the kind of crap that's calling up here, for Christ's sake. Sorry about that, acid trip of a chain call there, but this is America! This is it, for Christ's sake. Anonymous Radio Graffiti.
Good morning, USA. I got a feeling that it's gonna be a wonderful day. The sun in the sky has a smile on his face, and he's shining a salute to the American race.
No. All right? No Adult Swim stuff, please, all right? I'm telling you, Adult Swim went down the tubes when they took Assy McGee off the air. That's all I got to say about that, all right? That's all I got to say about that. Anonymous Radio Graffiti.
Good morning, USA.
I see where this is going now. 213 Radio Graffiti. Yeah, great. Another Helen Keller deaf mute, for heaven's sake. How about Anonymous Radio Graffiti? All right. How about another Anonymous Radio Graffiti? I guess a Helen Keller deaf mute, for Christ's sakes. How about 786 Radio Graffiti?
Ghost, this is the African Booty Scratcher. How about you come over here and let me lick your tummy?
Oh, my God. You sound like a real African, too. Did you just hop off the boat?
Yeah, I come to America to get job at 7-Eleven.
You work at a 7-Eleven? That's kind of scary, because I know 7-Eleven is feeding people now. So you make bagels and pizza and hot dogs and crap?
I usually make the hot dogs, but I like to give it a little bit of an African twist, if you know what I mean.
African twist? No, I don't want you to make. What do you enlighten us about that?
Okay, so let's just say people come in and they need a little bit of healing. I do a little bit of and that make you feel better, if you know what I mean.
Oh, man, that's racist. Get this asshole. Get out of here, for Christ's sake. Sitting over here trying to make fun of, I'm from Africa. Let me get the hell out of here. That's racist, man. 405 Radio Graffiti.
Hey, Ghost, if a civil war broke out, would you be a pissant Yankee or Johnny Reb?
Well, I don't think it would be North against South, sir. All right? I think it'd be liberals against people who actually have a pair of balls on the right. That's who it would be about, all right? Jesus Christ, man. What the hell is going on here? How about Anonymous Radio Graffiti? Well, what's up with the fruity music, man? What the hell is up with all this fruity-ass goddamn music? 256 Radio Graffiti.
Ghost, what's going
What's going on?
Hey, man, I got a question.
Go ahead.
All right, I know this isn't necessarily pertaining to Radio Graffiti, but I figure since it's such a clusterfuck, I might can shoot it in anyway. I am 23, started a job about 6 months ago, and they're opening up stock options to me at a 15% discount. And my main question is, would this be a feasible retirement plan to invest in their stock and just let that carry me through? Of course, there is a company-funded 401k, but I don't think that'll be enough to carry me.
Well, it depends, sir, on the company. You may want to look at a prospectus of the company, if it's going to be around for the next 10 to 15 years, if they have a profitability forecast, if they are not a target for a takeover, then I would possibly entertain the idea of getting those stocks at a discount. But you never know. That company could be gone in about 5 or 10 years. All right, I mean, legitimately. How about Raiden Snake, Radio Graffiti?
Hey, Ghost, it's been a while since I've spoken to you on here.
How's it going, Raiden?
I'm all right. I mean, seriously, with these Seth MacFarlane American Dad calls, what the fuck? It's bad enough with the Cleveland shit. Enough already.
I have no idea. You know, it's the same tards that do things every time. I mean, this is how the internet works. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, enough of this. I mean, Radio Graffiti's just going down the shithole, seriously, and not being funny.
Now, hey, Raiden, that's why I'm thinking about just completely getting rid of it altogether. All right? I mean, I used to make it at like 30 or 40 minutes of the show. It's gone to crap. And let me tell you something, maybe, just maybe, if we sell a few Mr. Fortune Cookie and Mr. Optimus autographs, maybe we'll go back to 30, 40 minutes again. Who knows? Who knows? We shall see. We shall see. How about Anonymous Radio Graffiti?
Hey, baby, what do you think of Ghost?
Go sit down.
Yeah, what else?
Go sit down on the sofa.
Well, Ghost, you just got insulted by a baby. What do you got to say?
What the hell is that? Is that you, Raiden? Hey, Raiden, what the hell's going? What the hell is? What the hell was that? What the hell was that, Raiden? Oh no! What the hell was that? What the hell was that? They got a freaking baby cursing me out, for Christ's sake. They got a freaking baby cursing me out. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Give me the mic. Give me the mic. They had a freaking baby cursing me out. You see this kind of crap I gotta put up with on Radio Graffiti? Jesus Christ, man. Anonymous Radio Graffiti. Jesus Christ. It's deep NASDAQ. It's deep NASDAQ.
What you gonna do when the market's down, foo? Fuck the difference between me and you. I'm bullish and you're skittish. When the stocks take a dip, you get piggish. I'm here night and day scoring points and waves. You're upset cause you lost everything, so behave.
It's deep NASDAQ. It's deep NASDAQ. It's deep NASDAQ. It's deep NASDAQ. Yeah, real funny, ass crack. I know what that is. The freaking nut shack. Give me a break. Anonymous Radio Graffiti.
Hey, Ghost. This is Uncle Bill here. I'd like to tell you about how my wife, oh man, she was so close to becoming president back in November. Every day I think about how she could be in the White House. I mean, I could be in the White House again. Oh, bang.
Yeah, and then you'd be raping more women again. That's just great. That's exactly what we wanted there, Slick Willie. Anonymous Radio Graffiti. Wait a minute. Is that a vibrator to the Cleveland show? Jesus. Grow up, assholes! Jesus Christ! Anonymous Radio Graffiti. We can't even understand you. That microphone sounded horrible. 360 Radio Graffiti. Woo! Surf's up at Oroville. Uh-oh. Man, that's not funny, man. I'm serious. You guys are soulless bastards. That is not funny whatsoever. Anonymous Radio Graffiti. Hey, asshole, get a better computer, all right? Your internet connection and your computer processing speed suck. 503 Radio Graffiti.
I mean, it's cold. These people are cold-blooded about these floods. It's flooding out here in Salem. And we got whole farm properties that are half underwater. I see people's barns are flooded. They have like a whole fucking big-ass warehouse of hay is underwater. But makes the trolls laugh. Anyway.
Hey, I know it's really, really sad. These people have no soul. You know, they ain't going to be they ain't going to be showing any compassion until their lives are in jeopardy, and that'll happen soon enough. I'll tell you that right damn now. 713 Radio Graffiti.
Hey, Ghost, how's it going?
How's it going, man?
Well, I wanted to say something real quick, if you don't mind.
Go ahead.
Well, I like how these trolls complain about you taking away their Radio Graffiti and you making it shorter every day. But they shouldn't be complaining, you know? They should not look at this as a negativity, but as a positivity, because to me, there's nothing more funny than a hambone in a wheelchair laughing about winning.
Hold on, did you say a hambone in a wheelchair? Is that what you said there, sir? In a wheelchair?
Yeah.
Hambone in a wheelchair? What's a wheelchair?
A wheelchair. The thing you roll around.
No, you said wheelchair. What's a wheelchair?
Wheelchair?
Hold on, just stay right there. I think it's about time for everybody's favorite game. It's Guess the Minority! That's right, folks. It's Guess the Minority, everybody's favorite game. Go ahead and put your guesses on the screen. It's Guess the Minority. Go ahead and take your best guess. What nationality is this? Let's go ahead and get back to the call. Hey, 713, are you a Mexican?
Yep.
Yes! 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 I freaking love this game! I told you! I could smell the burrito breath on this bastard! I could smell the taco breath on this son of a bitch! Yes! Yes! Woo! God damn, I love this game! I'm telling you, guessing a Mexican on a Taco Tuesday, the irony, folks, the utter irony. Anyway, folks, I am getting the hell out of here. I'm sorry that I attempted to try to give a little bit of opportunity to Radio Graffiti, and it sucked the chrome off of a 57 Chevy bumper. Anyway.
Well, that's pretty much it for guys. That is it for tonight's broadcast, and of course, pretty decent, but not so good Radio Graffiti, but pretty good show. So, with that said, I'm going to start the next stream right now. And people over at the YouTube, make sure to go to the B and Theater. Links in the description from there. Go ahead, go there because the next stream is going on right now. And also, make sure you are following me on Twitter at the Radio Network or Politics Ghost. And do also make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel as I do TZR broadcasts every day, Monday through Friday, 4 p.m. Central, 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Pacific, and I'll do them live. And of course, you'll also be notified if you ever subscribed, or if you're on my Twitter, you'll also be notified there as well. Anyways, guys, thank you for coming out. Shout out to everybody. I'll give a shout out whenever we come on Friday, or whenever it goes interrupts or somewhat in mid shows or so on. But of course, just big shout out to everyone coming in, and I'll see you guys tomorrow for the next TCR broadcast. Good night, everybody. It is time for some SmackDown. And yeah, good night. Yeah, good night. Bye-bye.